Can y'all see me, you guys? Let me make sure my thing is clear. Sorry, y'all. These are the old school ghetto lies I used to do, child. Sorry, my life is ratchet. But I'm baby free, so it's a lot easier. I can't wait for this baby to be 6 months. Sure, community guidelines. Whatever that is. Sorry, my peoples. I apologize. Forgive me. This move is hard. My sister's coming later, so hopefully she can hold the baby. Hopefully she can hold the baby. Oh, you better pull yourself. You better come outside. You better come outside. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. Jimmy's back, so he's holding the baby. I just got off the phone. Child. I need to run for office. It's like part of me, low-key, wants to run to be a senator. I'd be in Congress making a hot mess. Whew, I'll be a hoot. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should try. I need to study. Like you know, years ago, almost like a decade ago, right? I told my dad I wanted to be a senator, and he was like, "Marlene, it's so expensive." Yeah, Sonia. Hey, Rose. My dad was like, "Oh, it's expensive," because he said it takes about $50 million to run your campaign. I was like, "Oh, really?" So when he said that, it kind of scared me. Hey, Ken. I just got to work. Okay, that's what's up, right? But I would love, like, I've always, because before I thought about like the whole math stuff, because that just happened, right? Oh, thank you, Janet. But initially, I've always wanted to be a lawyer. I've had like, I have so many things I want to do, but I've always wanted to be. I wanted to be a banker and a lawyer. It was kind of weird, but when I was in like high school, middle school, hey, for me, I was always attracted to law. Ooh, I love politics, you guys. I love politics. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I love politics. The only problem with politics is that people get upset and then people get mad. So sometimes you don't want to talk about it because you don't want to upset people, right? No, I'm a little crazy, but I've always loved politics. I think it has more so to do with my mom. My mom is very political, but then again, she comes from a very political family, so that's what it is, right? But in school, I love law. I love political science. I love like AP US history. I love AP government. I didn't take AP government, but I take AP US history. I got a 4. She got a 5, but I did very well though, but I really wanted to be a lawyer. Like I would be like when I was young, my dad would take me to Barnes and Noble and I would get like books from like Sandra Day O'Connor. She used to be a Supreme Court justice. I would look up to like Sandra Day O'Connor, William Rehnquist, like the whole Supreme Court. I'm like, damn, these people badass. Like I wanted to be a lawyer so bad. Then I would watch like Legally Blonde, back to back to back to back to back to back. Y'all, I wanted to go to law school really bad. But then I guess I changed my mind. I was like, I want to make money. Child, then I was like, I want to sell makeup, but I'm all over the place. But I really wanted to be a U.S. Senator, right? Because I'm like, I need to go start some stuff, right? And that's the thing. Like when it comes to Candace Owens too, like when it comes to Candace, that's the one thing I do like, quote unquote, like envy about Candace. I love the fact that she's this black woman, dark skin. She sits there and she talks politics. You might like it, you might not like it, but I do appreciate her bravery. I like how she speaks her mind, and so be it. You know what I mean? Like I really like that. And part of me wish I could do that. My friends always tell Marlene, if you could be like Candace, da 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 da. And even one time she responded to my DM. I was like, oh, look at Candace. Okay. But I am very passionate about politics. I really am. It's just that with black people are very sensitive globally, worldwide. They're very sensitive. So it's like, and people be holding grudges and stuff. Right. But, yeah, exactly. Like, it's like people need to be able to like, just say how you really feel. People are too fake nowadays. People are just way too fake. And me, I can't be around fake people. Like, it drives me insane. I'm like, oh gosh, you don't mean nothing you said. You're just lying to these people because you want something from these people. But I was like, oh, maybe one day I'll think about running for senator. But I got time. I am crazy. I'll be saying all kinds of crazy stuff in the U.S. Senate. They're not ready for me. Okay? They're not ready for me. But yeah, so I do love politics. I wish I could have a channel. You just talk about politics all day. I really do. Because I think it's freaking awesome. To me, politics is even better than reality TV. I think it's better than all these shows. It's better than Love and Hip Hop. is better than, like, I don't know, Married to Medicine, all that stuff, because it's like you see in politics, you see it all. You see the greed, you see the shystiness, you see the schemes, you see the alliances, you know how people pivot and stuff like that. Like that's why I love like I love Game of Thrones. I love like House of Cards, all these shows, because it shows you like deep down humans are attracted to power and they'll do pretty much anything to have access to power. You know what I'm saying? People are addicted to power. And the less people act like they don't want power, the more they want power. Oh, it's so messy, Kevin. I love it. I love all of it. You know, the way they staged the coup on Joe Biden, you see like the different factions behind the scenes. You got the Obama Nancy Pelosi team, you got the Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Hillary Clinton behind the scenes. Like, they don't get along. You know, it's a party that is not really united. But they come outside though and they lie to people. You know, because Obama don't want that lady. You know, he don't really support that lady, right? But he has to go along with it. And this is where you see how people will lie or even go against their better judgment because they want to preserve their self-interest. They want to be cool and they want to fit in and they want to be down with the culture. Even if they know that what's good for the, like what's down for the culture might be really bad for the nation. Make sense? So I think it's really, really interesting. But I really do love politics, though. It's really messy. It's very, very messy. But it just shows you who people truly are. Because that's really the root of human nature. Greed, selfishness, backstabbing, lying over here, scheming over there. You know what I mean? One day you're friends with this one. Then it's like, okay, you don't serve me no more. You jump over here. You're friends with that person. Right? It's a hot mess. It's crazy. And even all these black people that you see on CNN, the Bakari Sellers, the Van Jones, you know, you got to ask yourself, if these people were not paid, right? If they didn't have these big salaries, and 7-figure salaries, Joy Reid and people, if they were not making all this money, would they really be saying what they're saying? Right? I don't think so. Right? Because they have to protect their job. They have to protect their job. Because you know damn well they don't believe in Kamala Harris their damn self, right? But right now, that's the agenda. Everybody has to push Kamala Harris. Everybody has to push that Kamala Harris is black, right? Because if you don't, and she doesn't win, you'll lose your job, right? Because all these black people, whether it's MSNBC, whether it's ABC, whether it's CNN, right? They know why they're hired. They're not hired to sell the news to the American people. They're hired to market something to black people. So if you can no longer be convincing to black people, you'll lose your job. Right? And the thing I find like so interesting in our society today is that today, everybody with a phone who's black is not part of black media. Before, it was like specific people were black media. Right? Like the Don Lemon, the Tavis Smiley, the Roland Martin. You know, it was a specific class of people who were considered to be black media. And you had to be on TV. You had to be behind a news network to be considered black media. Right? But today, anybody that has an internet connection and some type of device, you are part of black media. And that is the part that they didn't expect. Because if we were back in like the early 2000s and they tried to sell us that Kamala Harris was black, I think given the power of CNN, of MSNBC, of ABC, and all these other networks, right, it would have been a lot easier to sell it to people, right? But now that we're in 2024 and you have all these platforms, you got everybody has a cell phone, everybody can talk to people, it's not so easy. And that's the part of the lie that they didn't account for. They did not account for black people having such a visceral reaction to being lied to about her ethnicity. You ain't black, sis. And that's the part that I'm very proud. Like I said, it might not be as many black people as I would like to see, but it shows such a great shift from a people that were so diehard, hardcore Democrat. When I was a kid, when I was a teenager, when I was in college, even as a young woman, had you told me that one day I would even consider the Republican Party or I would be supporting a Republican nominee, I would have smacked you across the face. I know you lying. Right? But that's life. People change, people grow, and you start to see things differently. But for me, it's like during COVID, during the whole COVID thing, coming out of COVID, I can no longer trust these Democrats. I'm done with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am so done with these people. I can no longer believe them. Because everything they're doing right now is the same thing they did during COVID. Like when you reject Kamala Harris, you're racist, you're misogynist, you're anti-black, you self-hate, you want to be on the plantation, whatever the plantation is, right? It's the same thing with the vaccine. When you said no to the vaccine, you were a you were a super spreader, you were irresponsible, you were against the greater good, that you were an idiot, you were an imbecile, yeah, like you were, hey Gary, like you were all kinds. I'm like, what the heck? People have the right not to put something in their body. I don't know what this stuff is. You only had this medicine for like 6 months. Like, I don't know what it is, right? So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And I'm like, if you look, it's the same method. It's the same thing they did during COVID to make you feel like you had to put this vaccine in your body. You were in imminent danger if you didn't put the vaccine in your body. You had to do the social distancing. Kids had to learn from home, all that kind of stuff. Now you fast forward, people acting like COVID never happened. But we sit here and we see people getting sick. We see football players, basketball players, people dropping dead on the field, people having heart attacks on the field, and they're acting like they don't know what that's from. Like, oh, it just so happened. Oh, it just so happened. It just so happened how? But please, there's a lot of vaccine harm that's unfolding in front of us, right? People are seriously getting sick. And they're acting like, oh, no, it's not that. No, it is that. And nobody wants to talk about it because they know they have lawsuits up to their asses. But it's like you have the right. They're like, oh, and then they'll sit, like you'll see somebody like the Democrats or you'll see someone like Kamala Harris say, oh, the white man, or these men are trying to take your reproductive rights away from you. And like, please, y'all the Democrats, you wanted to own our bodies. Okay? You wanted to take our complete autonomy over our bodies when it came to what we could and couldn't do, right? Because when it came to the vaccine, yeah, that vaccine did something to people, Gary. A lot of people shouldn't have taken this vaccine. Because first and foremost, you should talk to your primary care physician to see if the vaccine is suitable for you. Because certain people who have certain medication, certain people who have certain protein problems, some people could not take this vaccine because it's not good for them. It's going to make things worse. You have people who are still in their bed because of the vaccine. One of my uncles, he's still sick because of the vaccine. Because the mRNA stuff, like the way it what's it called? It binded to his protein, child. It became a hot ass mess. Okay? But it's like there was so much pressure. There was so much fear. It's this, hey, Agile, what's up, babe? It's the same thing with Trump is a dictator. Trump is going to take us back to the plantation. Trump is going to take your rights. Trump wants to give full immunity to the cops. I mean, like all kinds of foolishness. It's the same thing they were doing during COVID. If you don't take the vaccine, you're going to die. If you don't do this, you're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to spread it. You're going to kill your mama. You're going to kill your daddy. You're going to kill your children. Oh, shut up. Shut the hell up. Okay? So I'm like, having resisted all the pressure and the pressure and the pressure to put the jab number 1, jab number 2, booster number 1, booster number 2, booster number 3, booster number 4, having resisted all of that going into my body, right? Fear-mongering, paranoia, it don't work on me no more. Okay? And it don't work on me no more. Like right now, Project 2025. That's what everybody has on their lips. Project 2025. Project 2025. I'm like, yeah, please. That thing is 1,000 pages. I know damn well you didn't read it. Okay? I know dang well you didn't read it. And for me, for us, like the excerpt that we saw from Project 2025, honestly, I don't mind. I'm like, okay, cool. What's the problem? Get rid of the Department of Education. Maybe we should. The world has changed. The way we looked at education 50 years ago, is that suitable for what we have today? Probably not. When you look at the Department of Education, they're trying to do everything but teach the children. They want to do race theory, gender theory, gender affirming care theory. I'm like, well, what is this? Your children go to school. Since the beginning of time, we've had a way of doing math. We have a way of teaching kids 1 + 1 is 2. We have a way of doing, if you divide 24 by 6, we have ways of doing this, right? It was just fine. Out of nowhere, these people decide to come up with the Common Core. Who asked for that? Who asked you to make easy things more difficult? Okay? You look at most public schools, they spend the majority of the time teaching kids just so the kids can pass a standardized exam so that the teachers and all the admin can keep their salaries, right? But the majority of I'm like, when you send your kids to school, what are they learning? They're learning everything but math and science and English. Okay? And on top of that, when you look at the majority of students who come out of a public school system, them young people don't know how to think. They can't think for themselves. They don't know finances, don't know how to think. They barely know anything about our government. So I'm like, it's obviously not producing the outcome that we want. So maybe you get rid of the DOE, you replace it with something else, or it has to be revamped. So I don't have an issue with that. I really don't. I do not. I don't. They also spoke in there about more families. We need more families. Okay? If we have more families, if we have more stable home, if we, hey, Aquarius, if we have more stable homes, if we have more families, right? And I've always told y'all, sexual indiscipline, it leads to violence. It's a form of violence. When a man has a bunch of children around the city, around town, it leads to nothing good. Nothing good will come out of this. Okay? Why are we so against saying, yeah, we need strong families with a strong male figure in the household? Oh, yeah, that's right, because it offends the feminist. Okay? Well, fuck their feelings. All right? They're going to be all right. But when you have more, because my friend texted me yesterday, she was like, okay, Marlene, but how do you feel about community policing? I said, community policing, this right here is going to turn into vigilante business, but shout out my French. It's going to turn into vigilante activities. Okay? Why would I want my neighbors to do community policing? Right? Because truth be told, right? If we have more families in neighborhoods, if we have more families in communities, right? Children don't act out so much.
It's a chaotic era.
Is what?
It's a chaotic era.
In what sense?
I think he's hungry.
You hungry again? Oh, Maverick is back. Maverick is back. Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, Miriam, I feel like it has certain things have to change. You know, you have children who go to school, they beat up the teachers, they throw their phones at teachers, they fight the teachers. You have other children in school, they're doing their teacher's hair. Okay? They're doing the teacher's hair. So obviously, this ain't working. Okay? And for me also, once again, you got, Martin, I'm crazy. But let me tell you something, right? I'm also the type who does not agree that public school should be free. I don't think it should be free. I think public school should cost something. Now, I don't know what the fee should be, but he said, Maverick, LOL. Yo, I cannot get rid of this boy. He's like an ankle monitor. Okay, he's like my parole officer. Child, this boy, I cannot get rid of him. He will find me. Okay? He will find me with the quickness. All right? But I don't think school should be completely free. Because when you make everything free, yeah. When you make stuff completely free, right? Eventually, it leads, yes, baby. It leads to disrespect. Okay, you're gonna go to sleep. Y'all, hold on. Let me feel it. I can't get rid of this little boy, child. I cannot. Okay. There you go. Okay. When you make things completely free, you guys, eventually, people don't take it seriously. You know, today, you have teachers, and some teachers are really good. I have to be honest. They're not all bad. Okay? Gary's like, hit the like button. Thank you, Gary. Okay. Some teachers are really good. Some teachers really do want to teach and they do want to push those kids, right? But if the child is misbehaving, they'll reach out to the parent. Parent be like, okay, so why are you reaching out to me for? I'm like, what the heck? It's your kid, right? You have parents who don't care. They don't care. They don't come to the PTA meetings. They don't answer the emails. They don't try to correct their child's behavior. You even have parents who come to school to fight the teacher. Fight the teacher, cuss out the teacher, and because they ain't paying, right? But when you pay for something, it makes you take care of that thing. Even giving up a little $100 or even $200-$300, it makes you care because you're like, you know what? Now that I have my money in it, I want to get something out of it, right? You gotta have some type of stake in the game. And today, a lot of parents do not have any stakes in the education of their teachers. Yeah. You see, ask Gilmore. I'm sure it's all kinds of disrespect. They come to school, they're not prepared. Their book bags is a mess. Their binders is a mess. The papers are all wrinkled up. There's food in the book bag. They don't know what their stuff is, right? The calculus don't have no battery. Their pencils are not sharpened. Their pens don't work. They don't care. But the child will come to school, y'all, with a $200, $300 pair of Jordans. Oh, look at me with the big coins. I know that's right. Look at the big coins. I know that's right. Big money, big money, big money. Yes. Mary, don't be a hater. Okay? Thank you, Miriam. They don't care. They don't care. Because it's free. Fighting teachers. I don't even know. A lot of our teachers today, they have anxiety. They have anxiety. Exactly. Like Tanisha said, in my day, I'll be afraid to get in trouble because my parents will beat my behind. Because at that time, the parents cared. So those kinds of parents, they can get to school for free. Right? But to me, if your child keeps getting into trouble, if your child is physically violent, okay? If your child, whether your child assaults a teacher or your child is assaulting the classmates, right? After 3 offenses, you're going to start paying. We're going to start making you pay. Yeah, you're going to pay. It's no longer going to be free for you. And if your child keeps misbehaving, you're going to start paying more and more and more until it turns into a private school tuition. You're going to learn. By Miriam, right? Okay? You are going to learn. And you're going to make your child care about school. You're going to make your child care about school. This is not a joke. Education is not a joke. There are so many kids around the world who would love to have what you have. And you're just out here making a fool of your education. You make a mockery out of your education. People get free books from the school. They rip out the pages. They rip out the cover. They draw in the textbook because nobody paid for nothing. And that's why and this is why I tell y'all, the older I get, the more and more I dislike socialism. Because if you give people socialism without teaching people responsibility, without teaching people gratitude, without teaching people, like, you know what, even though you're getting the school book for free, even though you have your education for free, right? It's people who are paying for it. It's free to you, but it's not free to everybody else. Right? But I feel like my issue that I have with socialism is that it makes people feel as though they are entitled to stuff. Oh, I'm entitled to free school. I'm entitled to free books. I'm entitled to free lunch. I'm entitled to a bus picking me up and dropping me off at school to and fro. No. You are not entitled. Okay? It's a privilege because you are in America, right? So when you're in America, we do want our kids to have a great education, but you're not entitled to. You can stay your ass at home. Okay? So I'm like, when kids start misbehaving and it gets violent and it gets terroristic, I do believe that the parents should have to start paying a school fee. Otherwise, your child can drop out. It's perfectly fine. It doesn't bother me. It truly does not bother me. Because if we don't correct this, not only are you going to lose on a lot of teachers, like right now in Georgia, I think Atlanta, but one of the schools, like one of the districts, they're looking for teachers now for back to school because they've lost so many teachers. When I tell you that teacher attrition rate, it is so high because first of all, the money sucks. The money is horrible. Okay. These are people who are spending 8 hours, 12 hours more with people's children. They are doing for other people's kids what the parents themselves don't want to do for their kids. Because we saw COVID, right? We saw with the quarantine, a lot of parents didn't have the patience to sit there with their kids, do homework with their kids, and to teach their kids. So these people are doing a job with your kids that even you don't want to do with your own children. Okay? And they're getting paid horrible money. Horrible money. Right? Meanwhile, you'll see somebody like Ice Spice. You they don't know what she's saying. Okay? You thought was feeling you? You a munch. All that stupid stuff, right? You have people who do great things for the community. They make stupid money. They're struggling. You have many teachers who have to go into their own pockets and buy equipment for the classroom, stuff for the classroom, paper for the classroom, pen and paper for the classroom. Okay, Shishi, right? Meanwhile, oh, look at that, big money. Okay? Meanwhile, our teachers will go on TikTok, they'll go on Instagram, and they'll see foolish people doing foolish things, basic things that don't help at all. They don't help the community, don't help society, just pure foolishness. And these people raking in all kinds of money. We don't even appreciate our teachers. When I was younger, like Christmas time, especially like Christmas time and summertime, right? Okay, we would like all Christmas. Like I remember when I was going to school, every holiday, you made sure to bring a gift for your teacher for Christmas, right? You brought gifts for your teachers during Christmas. Valentine's Day, you would have like gifts, but like for your female teachers, right? And then towards like the end of the school year, you would always have a card or something to say thank you. Like, parents, like families and the students were really appreciative. Like you never left school empty-handed. You always said thank you to your teacher, especially if you had a favorite teacher, right? But nowadays, nobody even does that no more. You don't see teachers getting Christmas gifts. You don't see teachers getting like end of school year type of gift. Oh, we outside. Oh, today is a good day. I know that's right, my very. I know that's right. Okay, today is a good day. You don't see that anymore. And I'm like, we got to go back to teaching people gratitude. And it all goes back down. It all boils back down to a lot of people have lost the meaning of what it is to be an American and what it is to be proud of being an American, and also what it means to be patriotic. Because a lot of people today are very unpatriotic. A lot of people today are very un-American. They're very anti-American. And because of that, they just feel like, oh, well, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'll just be destroying stuff. And I'm like, no, that is not fair. You know what I'm saying? And even that too, that is something that I would love to hear on a federal stage. Like when it comes to this election cycle or any other presidential election round, right? I would love to hear them talk about our teachers too. Because I do feel like our teachers are not being respected. I do feel like our teachers are being underpaid. So like now I'm going to add that to the list. Okay? Me and my booby. Y'all sorry for the booby child. I'm feeding this baby. Okay? But I would, look at she. Oh my gosh. Oh, big money, big money. I know that's right? But this is something that I would love to see. I would love to see that being talked about from our presidential nominee. What do they have in store for our teachers? Because y'all, where we gonna go if all these schools are understaffed or they can't get enough teachers? They're gonna have AI do the teaching, right? They're gonna have like what? I mean, how's it gonna work? You're gonna have robots teach those kids? You're gonna have AI do the teaching? I don't know, but we need to figure that out, right? So that is something that we also have to talk about. Our teachers. And I think that more and more teachers, like when it comes to teaching too, a lot of them, if you want to be a teacher, that should be a thing, that it should be, your school should be free. That is something I wouldn't mind subsidizing. Med school, I would not mind subsidizing med school as long as you keep your grades up. Okay, I ain't gonna pay for you if you're failing med school, okay? Oh, so baby with the coins. Oh my gosh. Oh, yes, baby Jesus. I know that's right? Med school, I wouldn't mind subsidizing med school. Because the more doctors we have, and if these young people can come out of med school with no student loans, we can definitely lower the price of healthcare. Okay? We can lower the price of healthcare. Another thing I would not mind subsidizing is people who want to become teachers. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if we know that they're not going to be paid a lot, then they shouldn't have student loan debt. You know, I think that would be fair. If we're going to keep a teacher's salary at what it is, yeah, they're very underpaid. Sharon, how you doing? How's Gemini doing? Sharon, I hope he's being nice to you. Okay? I hope Gemini is behaving accordingly over there, right? But I do feel like if we're gonna keep their salary at what it is, we should definitely then get rid of their student loan debt. All teachers, wipe it all clean. If somebody wants to be a teacher, if they want to be a career teacher, they should not have to worry about paying back the student loan. That needs to be wiped completely clean. Okay? Wiped completely clean. They shouldn't have to pay for it. Because we do need more teachers. And we need more science teachers. We need more math teachers. We need more physics teachers. We need a lot of teachers. It would be very ideal. It would be very ideal if we could have Gemini. They be Gemini. You know, Pluto's an Aquarius, so they're acting out. Okay? But it would be very nice if in every classroom we could at least have 2 teachers. So if you have maybe like a main teacher and you have a teacher's assistant, right? That would be very nice. Because a lot of kids also in the classroom, they need extra help. But the teacher can't do it all because there's one person, right? So I'm like, we have to find ways to get more teachers and to make their lives a lot easier as well. So teaching, like teachers, I would not mind subsidizing their bachelor's and their master's degree. I would mind. Med school also, I would not mind subsidizing their med school. I can subsidize med school. If you get good grades, I will subsidize that. I think med school, we could come up with a way of making med school, all 4 years of med school, we can bring that down to like $10,000. So then it's gonna come out to be like what, like 2,500, right? 4 years, 10 grand, yeah. So every year your out of pocket costs are gonna be 2,500, okay, and that covers like everything. Virgo man, I gotta send him a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Because that to me will make more sense. Because I'm like, we need to have more doctors. Because if you have more doctors, I think you can really lower the price of healthcare. You know what I'm saying? Because we need more healthcare providers. We don't have enough. You know? I'm like, even Cuba, I told you, I said even Cuba has more healthcare providers per 10,000 people. America has like what, like 30, like 29 or 30 healthcare providers per 10,000 people. That is very low. That is seriously that's seriously low. Yeah. We need more people to go to med school. But it's like nobody should have to pay $250,000 to become a doctor. That is insanity. Okay. That's insanity. That is seriously insane. No, man, what you doing? You okay? Let me see. Yeah. You know. Oh yeah, you can be doing foolishness also. You can be a teacher to expose children to your gender or whatever it is that you're up to. Anybody got time for that? Okay. Because I'm like, we need to really bring back innovation to America. I don't know what innovation in the future looks like, but definitely like we need more tech stuff. We need more AI stuff. You know what I'm saying? We do. Even exposing young people to coding at a young age, because that's the future, y'all. The world is changing. Oh, thank you, Sharon. The world is changing. The world is seriously changing. So it's like we need to encourage our young people to code. But the thing about coding and computers, you have to be exposed to it at a very young age. Hey, Jojo, if you're not exposed to computers and coding and that stuff at a very young age, you're gonna be afraid of it. You know, but you guys, a lot of jobs are not going to exist in the future. Yeah, they're just not. And so we need to have people, we need to hire teachers, right, who can teach our kids how to code. We need to have more coding. We need to have more coding classes. You know, kids should have that. Hold on. Maverick is up, y'all. I know I'm rich today, right? But we need to have more. You know, like that's why I said like when it comes to the Department of Education, a lot of things need to be revamped. So when I looked at project, like the parts, not all of it, because I didn't read all 1,000 pages. I'm too busy. But when I looked at some of the parts of Project 2025, I really wasn't like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah, I kind of agree, actually. I really do. You know, and I do think it's really important also for us to bring back the notion of families in America. I'm like, this is America. Like, what's happening? Okay. All right. But we need families. We need families. We need strong families, because where you have strong families, you have strong communities. When you have strong communities, you have less violence. But I don't want to have like, oh, community policing. What does that even mean? Because that's going to turn to some vigilante behavior. Yes. What is it? Well, I don't know. What is it? You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get rid of police. Yeah, but that's not enough though. Because community policing, right? What if you have a person who's beating somebody with a gun? What if you have a man who's beating his wife with a gun? What you gonna do if you show up without a weapon? Get your ass shut up too? No, ma'am. Okay? And I don't think you want civilians to do that. If anything, for me, I feel like when it comes to, we need police, but what I will say with police, I think police, they need more funding. I think we should give more. I think we should give more money to the police, right? For them to have better training. Okay, I think we got to also change when it comes to police. I think police need to be trained not to shoot to kill. They need to be. They need to learn to shoot to disarm a person. You don't have to shoot somebody to kill them. Now I feel like in the case with Sonia Macy, I'm like, why could you just tase the lady? Why are you shooting her? And why are you shooting her in the eye? Even if she's acting erratic, right? Does she have a weapon? No. Okay. I mean, hot water could be considered a weapon. I'm like, child. Okay. Okay. But for me, I do believe like we got to stop with this whole police have to be trained differently. All this shoot to kill stuff, it needs to stop. Because when if a white man kills a black person, it starts all this race war business all over again. It has to stop. Okay? Think about it. It really needs to stop. You can shoot to disarm a person. But the goal of a police officer is to always say, okay, if you're misbehaving, you acting a fool, I got to take you to the station to book your ass and you're going to go before the judge. But when you shoot to kill as a police officer, you really are judge, jury, and executioner. And that also, I don't like that. That's excessive. Right? With Sonia Macy, y'all could have tased her ass real quick, a little tail, put a little tail in the handcuffs. Right? So for me, I want more money for police. I want better training for police. And I think we've got to a place now, especially after COVID, that we need to address mental health and policing. Right? So does that mean that you have another department with the police station that focuses on health, like on mental health? Because a lot of people now, it's becoming way, way, way more obvious that mental health is becoming a serious problem. Right? And so when mental health is becoming a serious problem, it is not addressed in the way police officers are trained. And on top of that, police officers are trained to shoot to kill. Yeah, this is a recipe for a social disaster. Okay? This is going to turn into some racial war in a heartbeat. Because if people see a white man shoot a black woman, it starts this all over again. And then the healing has to start all over again. So to me, it's too much. It really is too much. You got to give them more funding. You got to hire more police officers. You got to also have more mental health training for police officers. So is the police officer going to be the mental health person, or are you going to hire like mental health professionals who are part of the police force who can also be called? That's one thing. People got to explore that. And I do feel like police officers also should have shorter shifts. These 12-hour shifts for police officers is too much. Because after 12 hours, I can see how somebody can get agitated because you're tired. And when you're tired and you have a gun and people are misbehaving, they're not listening to you, you're more likely to do something foolish.
Try.
Oh, that's what's up. Does that make sense, you guys? Because we do need police, right? We do need police. And I do believe that we can have a system of police that everybody can be proud of. Okay? I really think so, because there are really crazy people out there. There are some crazy ass individuals. And do you think I want to carry a gun? No. You think I want to be doing community policing? I ain't doing that. I'm a woman. So we do need some men out there who are properly trained, who work for the state, right? Who are professionally trained, hopefully, have enough, like their shifts are not super, super long, who can go out there, right? And keep law and order so that everybody can feel safe. Amen. So it can be done. But I do feel like there are naughty people who don't really want to find a solution to effective policing, because you can weaponize that for the election. Like, one thing I did not like about the Sonia Macy situation is that when you look at the video footage, it happened on July 6th, right? And for some reason, nobody talked about it. Nobody had smoke for it until the day that Kamala Harris was announced as the torch carrier for Joe Biden, right? And so for me, it really felt as though, to me, it really felt as though they were sitting on that to use it to drum up this hysteria. Oh, the white man with the skull tattoos. Oh, white men hate black people. Oh, police officer kills black people, right? Because why didn't y'all come out with this sooner? Right? It happened on July 6th. It could have came out by July, it could have been a week, because I mean, you had it. But they sat on that until about July, 26, right? They waited 20 days to do that. And you wait the day that Kamala Harris, quote unquote, the first black woman presidential nominee, right, to make it seem like, oh, see, he shot a black woman. They're against black women. White man hates black women. Oh, here we go again. Here we go again. Right? This could have been, even though the guy who shot her is white, I can't deny that. That is a white police officer who did that stuff, right? But it could just be that he's a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Just because we see a white man shoot a black person, it doesn't mean that everything is race motivated. He could be a fucking idiot because you saw his partner was also white and his partner tried to help her. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he could be just a lone white idiot, right? But they're trying to turn into a race war. White people have guns. White police officers have full immunity. Trump wants to give, and that's the part I didn't like. Don't use that lady and the way she passed like that for your political gains. That's very disgusting. That is seriously disturbing. A person died, and that's something I don't like. Even the guy that just released from Russia, the Marines that was just released from Russia, right? You go say Vive Israel. Okay, pas de problème. Okay, the Marine guy they just released from Russia, right? He was supposed to be released, I think, with Brittany Renner, the basketball lady. She said she a pop, right? And I'm like, so did you guys wait on his release so you could use that for Kamala Harris and make it seem like she's a strong negotiator and she was able to get this man out of the Russia prison? Makes sense? So you had this man waiting there an extra year or so because you were going to weaponize his release for an election cycle. And that I'm like, you see, there you go again. That stuff is disgusting. If this man could have came out with Brittany Renner, y'all should let this man come out with Brittany Renner. Why would you have this man sit longer in a Russian prison all by himself, right? Because you wanted that for your freaking what's it called? For your freaking election cycle, so you can make it seem like Kamala Harris is a tough negotiator. Ah ben bien sûr, Hugo, quand même. Attends, toi aussi. Quand même. Okay? I didn't like that part. I did not like that part. Because I'm like, that man's been in there for a very long time. So that, like, the stuff like that, you like weaponizing people's sequestration, weaponizing people passing away, people being shot by police for your personal gain, for you to be elected, to drum up all this like racial divide, to drum up all this hysteria. That's, to me, I don't like that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Do the right thing. If the lady was shot July 6th, by July 9th, it should have been made public. Why do you sit on that for 20 days and you wait for her announcement to also release that so that black women can once again feel like they're not safe? I'm like, that part, I don't like that part. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that part. It's not fair because people really do get scared. And I don't like how the Democrats keep weaponizing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all gonna it's like you want people to really fear the police so that something bad can happen. You know, not all police officers are bad. The ones who are poorly trained, yeah, they're the problem. But not every police officer is bad. We do have good cops. So it's like, why do you not want people to see that some officers are good and some are bad? It's the bad ones we have to get rid of. And we have to even make sure that the bad ones never get hired. Let's talk about that part. Right? But do we really, when you look at open borders, you look at how many illegal migrants we have out here. You look at the drug cartels. Drug cartels are super rich. You know what I mean? And they're never going to stop trying to sell their product. Right? So when you have drug cartels, you have illegal immigration, you have a lot of sick people who are escaping prisons in Latin America and who find their way here on American soil. Yeah, y'all. Oh, yeah, we do need police, y'all. Okay? We do need police. But what we have to make sure is, and I do think, like, even if we have to also do like a psychological evaluation also, I think that should be a requirement. I think anybody who wants to become a police officer, they should go through a psychological evaluation. They should check you for tendencies of being a psychopath, tendencies of being a serial killer, you know, anger issues. You know, people should have to go through a psychological evaluation before you give anybody a gun and a badge. It is not enough for them to just go to the police academy. Okay, that's not enough. Because the police academy just teaches you somewhat how to do your job. I think they could do a better job. Okay, but we definitely need psychological evaluation. Because some people are psychopaths. Some people are, well, Kiana's not here. Some people are crazy. So there should be a psychological evaluation. You should have to take a test. A standardized test where you answer questions so they can check your head. And then you should also have to sit down with a psychologist. You should have to sit down with a clinical psychologist for them to make sure that, okay, you're not the type to, when you're stressed or when you get angry, or, maybe you do, maybe you are racist, I don't know. But we have to make sure that we don't allow crazy people to carry guns and a badge. So a lot of people should be tested. I think you should not become a police officer, a detective, anybody in law enforcement without properly going through a psychological evaluation and then a sit down interview with a clinical psychologist. Yeah, and maybe two. But if you need medication, then it's not the job for you. Because God forbid you one day you go on a bus and then you see all these drugs, you gonna take some? Because we should not put you somewhere where you can be tempted. Because if a person already has something, if you take drugs, because what if one day you go and you do a bust and there's all kinds of Molly and there's all kinds of fentanyl and there's all kinds of oxy, you gonna take some? It wouldn't be fair to put you in that situation because you have you pop pills, So for me honestly, I do believe, I truly, what's wrong?
What is the shower curtain?
The shower curtains.
Yeah.
We had them all here yesterday.
Trina just wants to see it.
Where'd you put them? When you took out all the mats and stuff. You took them out the green bag, the one that has the green flowers on it. Where is that?
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put it up because it needs to be cleaned.
Yeah, we gotta clean that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we gotta be very careful, right? But I do believe that it can be fixed. I do believe. I really think you have great white police officers. You have amazing black police officers. You have amazing Asian, Filipino, Chinese, Japanese. We have great cops, and unfortunately, it doesn't sell to put great cops on TV. People want to see the drama, the whatever, the racial divide and stuff. So the media is also very irresponsible. The media is also really irresponsible. Because I think one thing we don't realize when we watch the news, right, whether it's CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, Fox News, right, we also have to recognize that they sell the news. Well, they sell fear, right? Because fear is addictive, right? If you can scare people, they'll keep coming back. It's like a scary movie. Like, it's scary, but you can't stop watching it. It's the same thing, right? These people have to sell us fear because if you only have good news, there's like, oh, well, everything is good, so why do I have to watch the news, right? So the news, they have to keep creating problems. They have to keep focusing on negative stuff to make people feel afraid. And then you say, oh, look, we have a specialist, we have this person to address this, to address that, to make you feel as though they have the solution. No, but they're selling you a product, right? And the news is a product. And the majority of it is, Andrew, we're not going to vote blue no matter who, Andrew. You can't be saying that. That's irresponsible, Andrew. That's irresponsible. Okay, so that's what it is. And I'm like, they sell fear to people. So when you watch the news, you got to remember it's a product, right? The news is a product. And they can create all kinds of product. But if they have positive product, nobody's going to watch. Okay? Nobody's going to watch. So you got to give people something to scare them, to make them afraid, da-da-da-da. And that's why in a lot of our news cycle, there's a lot of dishonesty. There's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of dishonesty. There's a lot of harping on foolishness, right? We don't need a strong black woman in the White House. We need a strong leader in the White House, Andrew. Okay? Because whether China is going to bomb us or not, whether Russia going to bomb us or not, they're not going to care about, oh, is she black? Oh, then we're not going to bomb it. Okay? No. Somebody who's going to sit in the White House, we need to make sure we have somebody in the White House that can actually do the job. And complexion does not guarantee competence. They both start with a C though, but it don't make the same outcome. Okay? Like we cannot do stuff like that. We need to have people who can actually do the job. And we need that all around America actually, because there are too many incompetent people who are doing things out here and it's creating bad outcome. Even Boeing needs to be investigated. All these planes dropping out the air. That stuff also needs to be investigated. Okay, so it's like, no, we cannot think like that. We're not primitive people. We're not tribal people. Like, no. This is America. So I'm like, if we're going to vote for someone, you have to be able to say, I'm voting for this person because I believe they can do X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool. But complexion, no. Gender, no. I'm really sorry. This is a very, very serious job. And it affects all of us. How you gonna call her a king? She's a woman. Why you call her a king? She's a woman. Amen. So that's how we're looking at it. He said king, no, like, y'all do too much. Y'all do too much. But I really think it can be fixed. So that's the part about the whole Sonia Macy thing I did not like. And the thing also I didn't like about the whole Sonia Macy situation, like when she was murdered by that police officer, right? There's another black man who was also murdered in Atlanta. Okay? He has a restaurant. I think he was like making like $8 million a year or something like that. I don't know where he was going, but he was driving this very expensive Bentley. Is it a Rolls Royce? The Kuya Khan, however it's called, child, he was driving a fancy car, like a $300,000 car. And they shot him. And nobody's talking about it because, it's black on black crime, so it's not attractive. And I'm like, that's crazy, right? We need to be against violence, period, right? We got to stop. There are too many guns out here. Like, there are too many guns. And the problem is sometimes people want to focus on the actual legal gun owners. But the real problem is people who are out here shooting people are not owning guns legally. They're criminals, right? And that's another reason why we also need police officers. Because you think I'm going to go out there and look for them? I am not. I'm a private citizen, okay? I'm not going out there to look for people with guns. I'm not doing it. I don't like guns. They scare me. But I do believe that this is why we need a lot of police officers too, because there are just too many guns out there in the hands of wrong people. And the majority of people who commit crimes with guns are not legal gun owners. There are people who are getting guns illegally. So because I'm like, this whole conversation about should you ban the AR-15, right? The old school me would have said absolutely. The new me saying, oh hell no. Okay? Oh hell no. Because if you ban serious people, right? Like an honest man or an honest woman who wants to buy an AR-15, you will never be able to ban the criminal who wants to ban an AR-15, right? So I'm like, I don't see how, like, in the bigger picture, how that makes anybody safer. Because let's say you ban all AR-15 from legal purchase. Like, you cannot go out there and buy it legally. Is the drug cartel going to stop buying them? Is the criminal going to stop buying them? Right? Are the gang members going to stop buying them? No. So why shouldn't the private citizen also have one so he can match people's energy? I'm asking for a friend. Okay? Brittany Griner is hilarious. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no. Because we don't realize this, right? But my issue is, I'm not trying to be funny. Like I said, there was a prior time in my life, if you had spoken on like gun control, banning AR-15s, I would have said yes. Because I'm scared of guns. I don't know much about guns and they do scare me. So I'm like, oh yeah, they scare me, right? But you fast forward now, when I see the number of the millions and the millions of illegal immigrants who are in our country, when I see how some are getting arrested for murder, for decapitation, for stabbing, for rape and all that kind of stuff, at this point, we don't even know who's in the country anymore. Okay? And we don't know where this is. No, I'm being serious. It really concerns me. I don't know if there's a country that's planning a war in America. I don't know if they're planning to have, if they're building up a militia to attack us. I don't know. Because why is there so many people? Right? Before at the border, you would have 400,000 people, 300,000 people. But now we're talking millions of people have crossed through the border. Right? And we don't know where they go. Because once they're detained and they take their fingerprints and they let them go, we don't know where these people go. We don't know where these people end up. And so that to me is reason enough to be like, you know what? Cuckoo mouth. That's enough for me to be like, I do believe that private citizens should be able to own the same weapons that a drug cartel or whoever else is going to have. Because if the government can protect us, because obviously they don't care to protect us, right? When you have someone like Kamala Harris who says that she's for open borders, she's for illegal immigration, she wants to give what's it called, the Medicare and Medicaid to illegal people, right? She is telling to the world that, yeah, just come here. Our borders are wide open. So when you have a treacherous, okay, government official like her in Mallorca, because you know Mallorca is, I think they impeached Mallorca also, right? People have to recognize that to some extent, eventually, we might be responsible for our own safety, right? And so do you want to bring a pistol to a fight where the criminal got an AK-47? I don't think so. So, like, that's why I changed my position now. Because we're not safe. If we had a government that really cared about our borders and cared about our protection and also identifying people who are here illegally so we can keep tracking them, right? Then I'm like, okay, maybe we don't need guns like that, right? If we also could curtail the drug cartels. But even like, I think it was in Brazil, you guys, they found sharks that had a high level of cocaine in their blood because the drug dealers are also using sharks as mules now to transport their, to transport their drugs. And so it's like, you know what I mean? When you look at also these corporations, like you look at corporations such as BlackRock, for example, right? BlackRock is heavy behind Kamala Harris. They're heavy behind the Democrat, right? You have BlackRock. You have a lot of these huge trillion-dollar having venture capital funds who are completely involved in our political system, right? But what if one day these venture capital funds want to whoop our asses? How are we going to protect ourselves? Right? Because private businesses, huge yeah, absolutely. I was gonna play that for you. I saved it on Instagram. But they found these sharks in Brazil who had a high level of cocaine in their blood. So it goes to show, even sharks are being used by drug cartels as mules to transport all kinds of drugs in Latin America to North America. So I'm like, we really have a problem with these drug cartels. And nobody's talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Drug cartels are real, and they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. They're not going to stop bringing drugs here. They're not going to stop bringing the men up here. They're not going to stop. Because when you sell drugs, you also sell weapons, and you sell women also. Because they always go together. Drug trafficking, arms trafficking, and human trafficking. Those three, they always go together. So I'm like, those people are not going to stop doing that. So when you talk about the average American citizen, right, they should have some type of protection in case the government fails to protect the people. Okay? In case the government fails to protect the people. It's sad, but it's the truth though. You know, because we don't know who these people are. Last time I showed you the guy who killed the lady in Maryland. You know what I'm saying? The guy from El Salvador who killed the lady from Maryland. So he raped her, and then he stabbed her like 9 times, whatever. But before he got to Maryland, he was in California. In California, he sexually assaulted a 9-year-old. He walked into their family house. He assaults the kid and the mama, right? He left the family home, and then somehow he leaves California. He ends up in Maryland. He does the same thing, but this time he adds murder to it, right? We don't know because when you come to the border, they detain you, they take your fingerprints, and then they give you a court date for your immigration stuff. But you don't have to come back. But after that, the people are released into nature. Only God knows where they go. So they can commit a crime over here in Idaho, and then 2 days later, they can be Maryland, commit another crime, go to Virginia, commit another crime. They can go to Atlanta, commit a crime. They can just whatever they want. We don't have a way of tracking them. And that to me is problematic. It is seriously concerning. So given that, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I want to take guns away from people. Okay? Merci, Simon. I don't know if I want to take that away from people. People should have their guns. And they should have their automatic rifles if they want to. Because one thing I've noticed too, when it comes to guns, right? Notice how people who always want to do foolishness, they'll go to a high school, they'll go to a school because nobody there is armed. They'll go to a nightclub because nobody there is armed, right? Or they'll go to a church because nobody there also is armed, right? But isn't it funny how they never go to a police station, right? Because when people with bad intentions know that you can match their energy, that you got the same weapons they got and probably even bigger weapons, they ain't gonna come to you. Because they're a bunch of bullies and they're a bunch of cowards. What they try to do to somebody, they don't want someone to do that to them. So they go to places that are highly vulnerable and are super unprotected, like a school. There's no guns on school campus, and maybe we should change that, right? Maybe we should have snipers on every roof of every public school in America. And I promise you, they're going to stop. Because once you know that there's somebody there who can match your energy, when you know that there's someone who has the same weapon you have and they're a better shooter and they aim better, you're not going to come over here, are you? Right? Because you never see a lone shooter go into a police station and try that stuff. It's very civilized. It is very civilized. The kids don't have to see it. But you can have a sniper on the roof. He might, and the beautiful thing about it too, if you really think about that, if you really think about it, most likely the sniper will never have to shoot. Because just knowing that there's a sniper up there or there's a sniper somewhere that you don't see, you ain't gonna try it. That school in Texas, was it Texas? Was it Florida? The Vlade school, Ulade school, right? Right? The guy did it because he could. Because he knew. I'm like, that school was intentionally picked. Because they knew it's predominantly Latinos who go there. It's not really protected. People there gonna make a lot of money, right? So even if you kill their children, it ain't gonna go too far. It didn't happen to Canyon, whatever that. What's the school for Northwest and her sibling, North Canyon, that fancy school in Malibu? And it's funny how these people, them shooter people, they never go to these bougie private schools full of rich white people because they know it ain't gonna fly, right? But Uvalde it's in Texas. Mostly Latinos, right? Maybe most of them are undocumented, but I'm like, that school was picked intentionally. And when the police officer went in there, he walked right back out because he didn't want to die. He didn't want to die. So the more that man was in there, he had the time to do whatever he wanted because the police officer who went in there, he got scared, right? But this is America. It's too late now. That ship has sailed. So it is what it is, right? But I do believe that most schools in America, most public schools from K through 12, even in colleges, you should have a few snipers on these roofs as a deterrent to let people know, fuck around and find out. And I bet you they won't find out because they ain't gonna fuck around, right? You have to match people's energy. But I was looking at this bill because they passed in the House, but they're trying to take it to the Senate where they wanted to take the guns away from people. And I was like, how do I know that Larry Fink is not behind this? I don't trust venture capital anymore because these people, they're not just in the business of like selling bonds and stocks and no. They want to own the American people, right? And one thing they know about the ethos of the American people, they're gonna come outside. You know, it's a people, they fought great, like they have the American Revolution, you have the Civil War and things like that. So it's a people who are not gonna give up. They're gonna take their guns, they're gonna come outside. But I'm like, people like Larry Fink, people who run these big venture capital funds, right? They want us to own nothing. They don't want us to own our homes. So they're buying all the single family homes. They don't want us to have guns. They don't want us to have this. They don't want us to have this. So that whenever they decide for us to say, even like the whole move towards electrical cars, right? They're trying to push really, really hard for everybody to start driving an electrical car. But I might think about that too, though. If everybody agrees to surrender the gasoline and we go for electric cars, what happens when the government wants to hack your car? Because you didn't pay child support, or you didn't pay your taxes, or you refused the vaccine, or this, and that. You wouldn't be able to use your own car. Good for them. We're not them. Okay? So I'm like, because when you put gas in your car, you control your car. If everybody agrees to drive an electrical car, right? It's like the government can shut down your car. Oh, you didn't make this payment, they shut down your car. You didn't pay your tax bill, they shut down your car. You didn't pay your property taxes, they shut down your car. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when you really think about it, for as much as they want to convince people that Trump is a dictator, Trump is going to be a dictator, y'all, look at the laws that these Democrats are trying to pass. And you'll see who the real dictator is. Okay? You're going to see for yourself who the real dictator is. Democrats are all about control, and the way they hide their Marxism. Because I wasn't seeing it initially, but I'm starting to see it. Is by always saying things like, "Oh, this is for the common good. This is for the common good. We want to take away everybody's weapon for the common good." And then who else gonna have weapons? The military, the armed forces will have weapons, and then criminals will have weapons, right? Yeah, he's sleeping. He's quiet. You are really. What is this? Hold on, give me a second. Then how did you get here? Okay. Yeah. So I was like, I don't trust it. Oh, it's for the common good. Because I know, oh gosh. It sounds really messed up to say that, though. It sounds really messed up to say it. But I've started thinking, because, when I looked at this whole attempted assassination of Donald Trump with this young man, I feel bad for that young man. Because I do feel like he was a loner, and I do feel like he was recruited, and I do feel like they brainwashed the little boy. I really do. They brainwashed him. And I even feel like he was a cover up. I think there was a shooter behind another shooter. I think he was like the shooter that we saw, but there's a shooter that we didn't see. I don't think he was the only one that was shooting. Okay? But he was the face that was sold to the media as the shooter. But I don't think that young man was acting alone. Because I'm like, you guys, how often have we heard of a 20-year-old want to kill a president? That is so bizarre. Okay? That is so bizarre. A 20-year-old, you woke up and like, I want to kill a president. If you want to kill your bully, I get that. You want to go back to school and act a fool, I kind of get that. What? No, he wakes up, you're gonna want to bring him back.
You sure?
He's asleep.
Okay, fine.
You want to pick him up when he's sleeping, when he's loud. You want to bring him back to me. You think
you
think
wanted to eat.
You think
you
you
want to
slick.
eat from one place?
You think you slick.
Well, two places.
You think you slick. He's asleep. Let him sleep because
Right.
he's quiet. Yeah, he left. I'll tell him you said hi, Kevin. But this whole thing of like the greater good, the greater good. Yeah, it sounds good, right? And that's how they always get your ass. They market stuff in a way you're like, oh yeah, it's true, it's for the greater good. Oh yeah, I should put a vaccine I barely know anything about for the greater good, right? I should pay all these taxes, don't even know how they spend my money for the greater good, right? Oh, I should vote for Kamala Harris because that's how we're gonna save the country. That's how we're gonna save democracy. What democracy? Right? Oh yeah, we should give up all of our weapons for the greater good. Yeah, right. Is the cartel gonna give up their weapons? Right? Are the criminals gonna give up their weapons? No. Oh, we should defund police for the greater good. Are you gonna defund the criminals? No, you're not. Right? No, you're not. So when you see how much like these big venture capital firms are involved in our politics, I don't think it's safe. Driving all these, drive electric cars because of climate change, But my thing is, where they gonna get all the raw materials to make all these electric cars? In Africa, right? In Africa. So once again, you're gonna have to go kill more people in Congo to get all these raw materials. Now, let's assume you have 200 million people who drive electric vehicles. Where they gonna get all this energy from? Where you gonna get all this electricity from? Right? But they use things like climate change. And even me, I used to believe in climate change also. I was like, oh, it has to be climate change. I mean, look at how the weather's acting crazy. Until you find out that it's people themselves who go mess up with, it's people themselves who go and mess up with the climate. They do all that weird stuff to the clouds like they did in Dubai. I forgot what it's called. They go and put all these weird gases in the clouds trying to mimic nature, and then it goes left. But they want you to think that, oh, look at that. Oh, if it's raining in Dubai, it must be what? Climate change. A lot of this stuff is fake. They trigger that stuff to make you feel like you are actually witnessing the consequences of climate change. No, it's all fake. Yeah, they had the boy. But under the guise of climate change, they're going to try to usher in some crazy policies, and they'll be like, oh, it's for the greater good. It's for the greater good. And you'll be like, okay, sure, I'll accept it. But every time you accept something like that for the greater good, you're giving up your civil liberties. And eventually you will have none. Because you'll have a complete state that controls everything that you do. But I'm like, if we're all driving these electric cars, what happens if you don't pay a bill? Or what happens if next time there's another COVID or there's another pandemic and they're telling us to stay inside, but you want to go outside? If the government sees you outside when you're supposed to be inside, they can shut down your car. Right? What happens if you don't pay your tax bill? They can shut down your car. You could be driving your car and they could hack your car. The NSA could hack your car and drive you back home. Okay? So when you think about the stuff they want you to do, even though it seems like it's for the greater good or it seems like they care about you, no, they want you to give up your civil liberties so they can control you better. But because they don't want to come off the bat and act like China or act like Korea, they're going to make you think, oh no, we're different over here. We're better than China. We're better than Korea. No, we have the same type of control. This the same thing. And they're no different. And they'll tell you it's for the greater good. Yeah, right. Get out of here. Me, I don't even know. I don't know if I will ever get an electric car. I do have a hybrid now, but fully electric, I don't know. Because I'm like, God forbid that because it's a computer. They can lock your doors. You could be driving your car and they lock your doors for you. You can't even open your own doors. And the NSA is very powerful. Why do you think Eric Snowden is out there in Russia? He will never come home. Eric Snowden, he will never come home. The stuff he exposed about the NSA, he will never come home. Because they can even open your phone. You are asleep. You don't even know this. You're sleeping. Your phone is completely open. They see all your pictures. They see all your videos. They're all up in your shit. We already, even these phones, they listen to us. Our phones listen to us. Alexa, she listens to you. We in the name of technology and being so cool and things like that, we bring devices into our homes, right? And you think these are just like, oh, these are the cute little device. But the entire time, the device is listening to you. You start talking about, oh, I want to eat you want to eat some steak or whatever, right? Next thing you know, you start seeing all these ads for steak. You think it's random? Okay? So I'm like, no. They want full control of us. They really do. But in the name of climate change, right? Oh, look at climate change. Look at climate change, my ass. Go sit down somewhere. Right? In the name of climate change, they want us to pay more money for gas. Girl, there's enough gas. Drill that bitch. Drill the oil. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. All of this stuff is just fake because they want to redesign your reality. Just like with the whole Kamala Harris. In less than 48 hours, they try to convince people that she's the most famous woman in the world. She's the most liked woman in the world. Everybody is so excited to vote for her. All of that is fake. I'm like, you are watching CNN, you're watching MSNBC, you watch ABC. These people want to redesign your reality. A woman who was so unpopular in 2020, she was so unpopular as a vice president, but in 48 hours, she raised $80 million. Go sit down somewhere with that. Go sit down somewhere with that. It is all fake. It is fugazi. It is fake. But if you believe it, okay. And that's the biggest magic trick in the world, right? Is to sell you a lie and to get you to believe it. But I'm like, who in their right mind can believe that this woman in 48 hours went from being unknown, disliked, irrelevant to now she is so loved, she is so adored, she can actually beat Trump. Like what? How? Like what is going on here? Like what is this? It's all fake. It's all manufactured. The support is fake. The love is fake. Everything is fake. Right? Because that's what they do. They redesign your reality. Like even with COVID, that's why they believe in COVID. Because they're like, oh, people are dying and they're dying and they're dying. But I was like, when I'm living out, because I used to run outside, I didn't hear ambulances go off on and on and on. Right? I went to the hospital like twice. It was not packed. The parking lot was quite empty. And I was like, where are all these sick people? Right? The math. About the people. I I never heard one time that they've run out of coffin. That there's a shortage of coffin. You know, they got to make more coffin. That the price of coffin is going up. I'm like, if people are dying that quick and that fast, right? You should have seen such an increase. You should have seen a huge shortage in coffin, and then you should have seen an increase in the cost of goods. Like the wood should have cost more, right? Even flowers. There was never a shortage of flowers, right? There was never a shortage of wreath. They didn't run out of tombstones. But I'm like, how y'all burying all these people? I'm like, where are all these? I'm like, this is very bizarre. You know what I'm saying? But if they can get you to believe it, though, you'll do what they want you to do. But I'm like, how can Kamala Harris be so famous in 48 hours? Right? They're like, the polls are showing that she's beating Trump. I'm like, what polls? Who is taking these polls? We have no idea. It could be people in the office, right? Because they don't tell you who they're polling. Don't tell you how many people polled. Don't tell you where they come from, what age they are. The polls are showing that Kamala Harris can win. The polls are saying that Kamala Harris has a lead on Donald Trump. I'm like, what poll is this? Who did you poll? I've never seen a poll. You guys are on this live. Have you ever received a poll? No. The majority of people here, we've never seen any polls. We have not received a poll. Don't even know what link you go on to vote for the poll. We ain't got no idea, right? But I'm like, this could simply be people in the office that you polled. And most likely you told them how to vote. So does that even count? Exactly, Elena. Me, I haven't got any polls. I ain't got no polls in my inbox. I don't get phone calls for the poll. I don't get anything. So I'm like, who are these people that you people are polling like that? I'm so confused. Who are these people? Right? Because most likely it's people in the office. Okay? They make stuff up to make you think it's real. It is not real. It is a bunch of lies. But if you can believe it, though, it's a lot easier for them to make you think that she can do the job. Right? But I'm like, no. There's no way somebody can be this popular in 48 hours. I ain't never seen this. Right? She was on the phone call, and so she raised 80 million. I'm saying 80 million from who? Who are these people? Right? Because these corporations are behind it. These corporations are behind it. And one thing we know about corporations, they love to own people. I don't know. I don't know who they're polling. Because they never told you, we polled people from the age of 24 to 56 in this area. We don't know who I don't know who they're polling. I'll probably believe it more if they gave me like an age bracket. From 18 to like 60, from 18 to 72, this is who we polled in the Southern District of Atlanta, etc., etc., etc. Exactly. It's the corporations who want her. Right? And it makes a lot of sense why corporations would want someone like Kamala Harris, because she has no personality, right? She has nothing to offer. She's someone that they can easily manipulate, right? And that's what they want. Someone who's gonna be like, yes, 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 yes. That's what they want. They wouldn't want someone like is it Mitt Romney, the rich guy? They wouldn't want someone like him because you can't control him. But someone like Kamala Harris, though, you think she's gonna say no to Larry Fink? A man who I think he's a billionaire, but BlackRock has like 2 or 3, I don't know, some trillions of dollars in asset management. She ain't gonna say no to him. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna say no to a lot of these people. And even when it comes to Joe Biden, right? If you think about it too, you guys, they also chose Joe Biden. He was not the choice of the people. They sold it to us as, y'all really picked him and y'all made sure to save him against Trump, right? No, because as long as they can keep us focusing on Trump, we're not going to look at who these corporate donors are. Like, who are these corporations that are pouring all this money into the Democratic Party, right? They don't want you to look that way. They want you to stay focused on Trump. And Trump is actually, Trump is just like Project 2025, right? They want you to obsess on this one thing. Meanwhile, there's so much going on in the background, but you're not focusing because you've been told that the danger is only this way, right? Like, think about Project 2025. Do we really, really think that if this thing was like, I can't say it's not real, but if Project 2025 was the real project that they had for America over the next 4 years, the next 8 years, you really think it'll be that easy to find? Do you really think It will be that easy to find. Like it's right there on the website. If you type it, it shows up on Google, blah, 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 blah. When have you known people who want to oppress you, who can successfully oppress you, make it easy for you to find out what the plan is to oppress you, right? And I'm like, y'all, people are so focused on Project 2025 because it's a distraction. Because as long as you're obsessed over this document, then you're not going to see the real projects that are really about to unfold on that ass. You're not seeing it, right? But when it's too easy to find, it's a distraction. Like, you know how when you watch like a murder movie, like what's the name? What was that lady's name? Murder, She Wrote, for example. Remember Murder, She Wrote? Or if you grew up like, you know, because I used to love those type of movies. Those type of series. I used to love Murder, She Wrote. I used to love Columbo. I don't know how many of y'all grew up watching Columbo also. But when you watch like all these like murder mystery type of shows like that, they always present the person that could potentially have done the crime way early, right? Cuckoo Steph, right? So early on, you're like, oh yeah, he probably did it, because it's so obvious. Oh yeah, he was there, he had the motive, he was the last person she saw that night. So when you're new to these shows, initially like, yeah, Mr. Smith did it. Right? Like, let's say like in this one episode, there's a lady named Amanda, right? And she was found dead in her hotel room, and the time of death was 1:30 in the morning. And the last person who left the room was Mr. Smith, right? And he left there at 12:30. Then they'll be like, oh, Mr. Smith had a wife, right? And and Samantha, when she died, come to find out she was pregnant. And downstairs, before she went up to her room, people saw her and Mr. Smith having this argument. Okay? You're like, he had motive, right? She was pregnant. He's married. The people saw them downstairs arguing at 11:45. You know what I'm saying? He walked up to her room. They went up to her room at 12 o'clock. Okay? Then the cleaning lady saw him leave at 12:30. And nobody else went to that room after that. She's like, yeah, it must have been Mr. Smith. Right? That's how your mind works, because you're not used to these shows, right? Even when you watch, Special Victims Union, SVU, remember that, that show on NBC with Ice Cube in them, okay? There's always that one person that is like off the rip. You're like, yeah, I think you did it. But no, you can't be too quick, because that's not the murderer. It's too easy. It's too easy. Right? So they give you that easy thing in the beginning. Like, oh yeah, they give you like how can I say this? Like an easy, an easy suspect in the beginning. Right? So when you're not used to these shows, for the detective shows, you're gonna be like, yeah, I think he did it. But no, baby, you gotta keep watching the show though. You gotta keep watching the show. And the more you keep watching the show, you're like, oh no, what about that other person that was sitting in the lobby that didn't say nothing? You're like, could it be you, right? So that's one thing I've learned, is that to me, it's like Project 2025, it's an easy suspect. It's too easy. You know what I'm saying? It's too easy. Because if somebody really wants to destroy you, they're not gonna make it easy to find. But to make sure you don't go looking for them, they're gonna give you a distraction. And Mr. Smith is a distraction, because you see, the real killer was hiding somewhere. He also knew Samantha, and he knew she was pregnant, and he knew that, you know what? Because that's what they do. There used to be a show on TV called Boston Legal years ago, right? And one thing they used to say is, like, when it comes to reasonable doubt, you have to make the jury believe that somebody else could have had the motive to do it, right? So the killer has to find somebody else that has a motive to also kill, and let that person go in there before you. Because you see, nobody suspects you, but him, he's more so, you know what I mean, a usual suspect. Like, yeah, he has a lot of motive. Exactly. He didn't want nobody to know. He was petrified. That's his own child. What if his wife found out? So when you think of Mr. Smith, like, yeah, why would he not do it? He obviously did do it. You know what I mean? And that's what the murderer wants. The murderer, he wants someone that can look like a credible suspect. Like, this person has all the reason. They were arguing downstairs. They went upstairs. He's the last person who left the room. She was pregnant with his baby. He was still a married man. So yes, he did that shit. He's the freaking killer. That's him right there. That's Mr. Smith. Throw his ass in the prison. But you'd be mistaken to do that because you're rushing. You are rushing. You're moving a little too fast, right? There's a real killer out there. Then we come to find out Samantha used to be a what? Samantha was also a drug addict. And she had a drug debt. She owed money to a drug dealer. She owed $25,000 to a drug dealer. But nobody knew. But the police officers found out when they spoke to her best friend. Because now she has a best friend named Nancy. And Nancy knew her since they were 16. And ever since they were 16, Samantha had a drug problem. But she did a pretty good job hiding it from people. But this drug dealer, he'd been in her life since she was 16. And now she owes him $20,000. Like, ooh, so who could it be? Is it the drug dealer that she owes 20 grand to? Or is it Mr. Smith, who's a married man and she's carrying his baby? And earlier that day at 4 o'clock, they sure did see her with the drug dealer at 4 p.m. So what if the drug dealer will find a way to sneak through that room? We don't know. We don't know. But one thing I know about these people, they are good at putting a distraction in front of you to keep you from paying attention to what they're doing, right? And that's what it is. The people who are up to no good in this nation, they want the American public to be distracted by something. Give them a distraction. The same way they gave us social media, the same way they're giving us TikTok, the same way they're always giving stuff like they all police brutality. They're always giving us stuff to be distracted. So that way we're not looking where we need to look. We're not paying attention where we need to pay attention. But for me, Marlon, I said Project 2025, it was just way too easy to find. It's too easy to find. It's free to find. It is free to download. It's free to read. Blah, 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 blah. It's just too easy. And when something is too easy, it scares me. Because I'm like, then what is really going on? Exactly. What is really going on? Because this right here is a distraction. It's too easy to find. Because I'm like, what person you know, if they truly have a plan and they know they can implement the plan, they're going to let you in on it. They're not going to let you in on nothing. Because even right now, when we look at the state of Black America, like especially with the entertainment, the rise of the sexy red, the rise of this, whatever this is, the sexy red, the whatever, all this goofy stuff we see. That's a project. Somebody wrote that years ago, maybe decades ago, right? Nobody told us. Nobody told us where to go look. But now we see it. But the stuff we're living today, the sexy red, the BET Awards, and even Boondocks. I think they said Boondocks. I saw it. Boondocks had an episode about the BET Awards, and they predicted all of this foolishness, right? So that lets you know. Even the fact that the Simpson episode, there are so many things that have happened in real life that played out decades ago. In the Simpson episode, like Kobe Bryant dying in a helicopter, that was an episode on the Simpson also, right? But it's like the fact that some of these cartoons were foretelling us what was about to happen, let you know. The stuff we're living today, the state of Black culture today, Black entertainment, and all this stuff, the conversation, the divide between the Black men and the Black women, that stuff was written probably decades ago, 20, 30, 50 years ago. Nobody told us. And so now we're living it. But we have this right here, it's not random. It was somebody's project for us. Project 2024. And that was probably written like 50 years ago, 60 years ago. And nobody knew it existed, but those who actually wrote it. So my thing is, if somebody really wants to do something to you, why would they make it easy for you to find? Why would they make it free for you to find? Why would they make it free for you to download? No, this right here is nothing more than a distraction to stop us from looking at the projects that we really need to look at, such as the housing project, the fact that all these corporations are becoming the #1 buyers of single family properties. What does that really mean, right? What kind of projects do they also have for all these predominantly Black neighborhoods? And I told you, displacement is part of it. Drive these cities completely nosedive into lawlessness. Reduce the price of housing, right? Completely depreciate these homes, depreciate the land, and eventually kick the people out and come back and buy all this land, all these houses for pennies on the dollar. They have a plan. They definitely have a plan. But Project 2025 is not one of them. It's too easy to find. It's a distraction. Just like reality TV, Just like these sitcoms, just like reality TV show, Housewives of Atlanta, What's Happening with Nene. It's all of that stuff is nothing more than a distraction, right? It's giving Kim Kardashian. Every time there used to be any type of heat on Kim, she'll come out naked, put her naked self on the internet, right? When Diddy started when all this stuff started showing up with Diddy, right? When all this heat was coming on Diddy from the lawsuit to the raid at his house, right? People felt like they're coming for Jay-Z next, right? So what happened was when they got raided, the Carters went to Japan. But I'm like, if Cowboy Carter is a country music album, why are you in Japan promoting country music? I was confused, right? Then when Beyonce came back, she got all naked, put all her ass and all her boobs on the internet, right? Because it was a distraction, because there was too much heat on her husband, right? So people stopped talking about Jay-Z, and once again, they started talking about Beyonce's body, right? This is what these people do. They are in the business of keeping us distracted so we don't focus on what we truly have to focus on, and we don't have the conversations that we truly need to have conversations about, right? But remember, out of nowhere, Beyonce started posting all her booty on the internet. It's like, girl, what are you doing? But she had to help out her husband because there was too much heat. Because once again, Sean Carter is very close to Sean Combs. They're always together. They party together. They have the same taste in women. Okay, and Jay-Z has done some other things, if not even worse than Diddy. So I feel like them knowing that it was coming for them, she was like, child, let me take my clothes off. Same thing with the Kardashian, right? Every time Kim will get caught up in a situation, people going crazy, people are upset at her, or it could affect their business, Kim gonna get naked, right? The famous picture where she popping the champagne into her booty because the champagne glass is on her booty, right? Because there was some type of drama. Then they released that cover, or she'll just come out holding her boobs, always using their nakedness to distract you from whatever is happening because they don't want to face the backlash, right? So that's my thing. I feel like with COVID, a lot of people started opening up their eyes, right? People started being more woke. So now it's like, no, let's start something again to put them back to sleep because they woke up too much during COVID. They were too awake during COVID. Let's put these people back to sleep. So they're going to drop all these, Project 2025, this and that. All of that is nothing more than a distraction. Do not fall for it. It is too easy. It's too easy. And when something is too easy, it's a trap. It's a setup. It's not the real thing. Because the real thing is the stuff they never want you to find out. It's the stuff that if you got close to it, they shoot your ass. Okay? It's the stuff that if you found out, you have to go live in Russia. Like Eric Snowden. The stuff that Eric Snowden found, yeah, he can never come back here again. Okay? You saw Julian Assange. He had to sign all these agreements, but they sent his ass back to Australia. Okay? Even the guy who started, the boys who started a Discord, Telegram. The boys who started Telegram, they also had to live in Dubai because they're not safe. So I'm like, if you really were able to find what they really want to do, your life wouldn't be safe. Your life would not be safe. You would not be safe. Your family wouldn't be safe. You would have to go live somewhere else. You could not stay here in America. Okay? You couldn't stay here. And that's a fact. So I'm like, yeah, Project 25, it's nothing more than a distraction. They have a real project, y'all. And it's the project of you own nothing, you have nothing, you fully depend on the state. Right? And I don't know what kind of police they want. Maybe they'll have robot police. I don't know. But these people are up to no good. They're up to no good. And the Democratic Party, to me, is the better party to usher in a new world order because those people always come off as, oh, they're nice. They care about the everyday people. They go after the rich. They go after big corporations. But it's like, do they really though? Because Nancy Pelosi is worth $115 million. So when they talk about taxing the rich, is she going to tax herself? I don't think so. I do not think so. Right? But I'm telling you, like, the more and more they tell you to fear somebody, to be afraid of somebody, that needs to wake you up. Why do you want me to be afraid of that person? What about that person should I fear? Why? You know, like I'll give you a few more examples. When I was younger too, Maleficent. Yes, Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty, right? I used to not like Maleficent. And it makes sense. The way she's dressed is scary. The way she looks is scary. Like the horns on her head. It's really bizarre. Like, girl, what the heck? Right? You see this grown ass woman who comes to a baby christening to curse a baby. Like, who curses a baby? What's wrong with you? Right? And then her name is Maleficent. But you realize that they intentionally wrote the story for you to dislike Maleficent. Because once you dislike someone, you don't care what happens to that person because you dislike the person, right? But then one day, that's even before they had the movie, like with your girl Angelina Jolie. Before they had the movie, I was like, but how did she become Maleficent? Because people don't just wake up becoming evil like that. What happened to her? And that's the thing they never want you to ask. Because when they present a person as a villain to you, they want you to take away all humanity. They're just a villain. And the people deserve whatever. Okay? They're not human. They don't have feelings. This is who they are. And they must die. They must be punished. They must be killed. You know, okay, sure, they're evil, so do whatever you want because they're evil. And we always say we have to eradicate evil. But it's like, how did she become so damn evil? What happened? Then I was like, But what if something bad happened to her? Because she really has beef with the king. It's really personal. Hey, Thomas, to show up to a baby's christening, to curse a baby, yeah, girl, you've been waiting for this day, right? So I'm like, something happened. So I was like, what if she really had beef with the king? What if years and years and years ago, once upon a time, when she was young and she was a maiden, what if the king had actually raped her? You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about Maleficent, they never give you her story. They don't give you a background on who she is. They don't give you context. She just shows up at the christening acting a plumb fool, like being evil as F, and she's out here cursing a baby at her christening. And you're like, what is wrong with this heifer? Right? Because when you don't have context, it's a lot easier to hate a person. Right? When you don't know a person's story, it's a lot easier to hate a person. Exactly. Ursula. How we know that Ursula, the king, when he was young out there, he wasn't talking big game, big things, and he promised to marry her, and then he flipped the game on her and married somebody else. We all know. Or maybe once upon a time she was cute and sexy and small, little cute little sexy octopus. And then one day the bitch don't blew up and became a size 24, and he was like, I don't love you no more. We all know, because men be changing their mind based on the size of your waist. It does happen sometimes. But maybe he promised to love her. Oh, thank you, Christy. Maybe he promised to love her. Because what is going on? But when you don't, I'm serious. Because Ursula is a middle-aged woman. By the time we get to meet Ursula in Little Mermaid, she's a middle-aged lady. Because these are her and the king about the same age. There's some middle-aged people, right? And like Ariel is like about your age. But what about when she was younger in the ocean, under the sea, getting freaky with the king? I see. Okay. Hello, somebody. Okay. But what about if back in the day when she was cute and popping and waist was snatched under the sea, she getting freaky with the king. And he was telling her, girl, you and your little tentacles, I like it when you tickle me. Okay. We don't know. They used to be out there somewhere. Okay. And he used to be out there down there somewhere getting tickled by the tentacles of Ursula. Promising that girl all kinds of marriage and clamshells. We don't know what he said to that girl. We don't know. But maybe he broke a promise. Maybe she had to get an abortion. I don't know. But the bitch, she mad. She big mad. Like, girl, did he break your heart? Yes, the tentacles. He was getting tickled by the tentacles of Ursula. Like, girl, I love it when you tickle me. Okay. The king was down there under the sea getting freaky. Okay. Child, context matters. It always does. But the problem is, they always rob us of context. So that way you can hate somebody. Makes sense, right? But what if she was young and just as pretty as Ariel? What if? What if she really loved him and he bamboozled her and he got her pregnant? And next thing you know, he married somebody else. He's like, girl, you gained a little bit of weight. From a size 4 to a size 24, he don't love her no more. Girl, what? Mm-hmm. Find themselves something else even more freaky under the sea. That's a size 4, and she's a cutie. Man ain't shit. Even when they half men and half fish, they still ain't shit. Okay? Let's talk about that part. So see, because now if you have context, even though I don't think it's okay what Ursula does to Uriel, but you can understand her energy. Like, oh, I see where she's coming from and why she got so much smoke for this little girl. Because why she wasn't trying to hurt the daddy. Because once upon a time, she was cute like Ariel too. And the daddy was getting freaky with her tentacles, and he broke her heart because she went from a size 4 to a 24, and then he didn't love her no more. Okay. Okay. Make it make sense. Context is everything. Even Medusa. When I was younger and I learned about this whole Medusa thing, like the Roman stuff, Rome and Greek pantheon, like, Zeus and Venus or whatever, right? That you learn about Medusa. You're like, man, that's a mean ass little bitch. What's wrong with her ass? She has snakes on her head. She looks at you, and then she turns you into stone. I'm like, bitch, you gotta work on your anger. You got anger issues, sis. What's wrong with this chick? Right? But it's like, you understand, okay, if they want to cut her head off, because of course she's not a good person. She's not a good entity. She's not a good being. She turns human beings into stone. We shouldn't allow that to happen. Cut that bitch head off. She ain't shit. That's how I used to feel. Right? Until one day, I was like, hold up. How did this happen again? How did she end up having snakes on her head? Then come to find out, she was fully human. Medusa has a backstory. She doesn't just become she doesn't just arise out of nowhere with snakes on her head and all these anger problems, right? And this hatred for men, because she hates men. She a feminist. She hates the men. She a feminist. Okay? But something happened to her. Because Medusa was a young woman. She was a young virgin, and she used to take care of the temple of Venus. She was a virgin that was dedicated to Venus, and she worked in the temple of Venus. Now, if you study Greek and Roman mythology, you know that these gods, they're all kinds of horny and demonic. They'll just jump on you and just rape you. Like, if you remember, like, Zeus jumped on Hercules' mama, and he raped the mama, right? So that's how Hercules was conceived. And then she dipped Hercules in the lake so he could have these godly powers. But because she was holding him by his ankles, he's God everywhere, but in his ankles, right? So they call him my Achilles heel, right? Because that's the part where Achilles was the weakest. That's where he's human, is in his Achilles heel. Shout out that goofy ass story, right? But that's pretty much like Greek and Roman mythology, is that these are gods who rape people, right? So I forgot who it was, but one of her brothers, right? One of these gods befell on Medusa, and he raped Medusa when she was a virgin. So then Medusa goes to Venus to say, oh my gosh, Mother Venus, look at what your brother did to me. Your brother raped me. And you would think the sisterhood, you would think there'd be some type of sisterhood. You see? Exactly. You would think, like, as a woman, as a female CEO, as a boss, as a feminist, as the president or whatever she was, right? You would think that Venus would have had empathy for Medusa and that she would chastise her brother and she would hold her brother accountable. No. She's what we call a pick-me show. Okay? She centers the men. So what she does is called victim shaming. She tells Medusa, well, maybe you wanted it. Maybe you seduced him. So instead of holding her brother accountable, she cursed Medusa. So Venus is the reason why Medusa has the snake on her hands. So I understand why she's so pissed off. So what happens is, because now this pretty girl, the pretty girl who was nice, who was loving, who believed in Venus, she's going to be a boss girl, she's going to be a bad bitch, she's going to have her own business one day, because she looks up to Venus. Look at how she's treated by her idol. So you have that. Then you have the whole rape issue, right? There's no justice for that. So she goes and lives by herself. Like, man, fuck all these people. They ain't shit. And once again, you have these men for no apparent reason, just for bragging rights, who want to go cut her head off for the sake of it. So she's sick and tired of men. But she wasn't bothering people. So I'm like, leave that girl alone. Why do you want to go kill that girl for no reason? She's been through enough. Men have done enough to her. She's sick and tired of men. She wants to be by her damn self. But no, these men have to make it their business to go cut off her head because they want to prove that they're the one who got her head. First, y'all took her virginity without permission, without consent. Now you want to go cut off her head for the sake of cutting off her head? I said, girl, do what you got to do. Turn every single one of these dudes into stone. And when you turn them into stone, kick them into ashes. Kick them into rocks. Do what must be done. But they don't give you context, right? And that's what Nali's saying here. There's this cartoon. It's made by French people, but it's like quote unquote African cartoon. It's called Kirikou, right? Even in Kirikou too. In Kirikou, the witch is called Karaba. Ooh, she's so mean. When you meet that girl, you're like, bitch, I fucking hate you. Karaba is just so fucking mean. And it's like she hurts little children. And then she has these little robots, these little African robots who go into the village to hurt the people, right? But the thing about her too, right? When you continue watching the story, right, you eventually discover that Karaba, the reason why she's so mean, she was also raped. And then she also has a thorn. She has a thorn in her back. So she has the rape thing, and then she's constantly in pain. That's why she's so fucking mean. Right? And this is what I've come to learn is that when they tell you to hate somebody, you need to start asking more questions. You need to start asking more questions. And you also need to start asking for context. Like, okay, but how did this person become this mean? What happened? Because people don't just wake up and start acting like this, right? It's the same thing when I was watching like the girl here. Who was that? You found this?
Sure.
Oh. When I was there's an influencer here. Her name is Mercy Gono, right? Mercy, y'all. One day, Mercy went into her car. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my gosh. I just want to tell you, ladies, I'm so sorry if I can't ship your orders. Yanni just closed the PayPal account. Yanni took all the money. I was like, it was very bizarre. I was like, what is going on here? You know, and when I tell you, all my little sister, they fell for it. Oh my gosh, Yanni is so evil. I can't believe what he did. I believe her, you know, because they say believe all women, child, believe all women. But I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. Because I remember saying, she's like, oh yeah, she's known him for 17 years. I said, okay, she's known him for 17 years. He's never acted this way. He's never blocked the money. And me, the times I used to watch her videos, he was always supportive. He was always excited for her. They had a whole party when she reached 1 million subscribers. And I'm like, why would he do something like this? It was very bizarre. But I was like, no. But then there's one part, she was like, oh, but then this person came into my life. I said, she met somebody else. But she could tell her people that. You know what I mean? She couldn't say to her audience, I no longer love Yanni. I met someone else. I think I love him. And I want to move on. So Yanni got upset because I was like, I think she's trying to do something and she's trying to leave him behind. And he's like, no, because I helped you build this business. So he shut that bitch down. He shut the PayPal down, as he should. And as time would have it, everything comes to light. So one day, Mercy and her new boyfriend, Gerard, they start whooping each other's asses, you guys. I mean, the shit got real. And then he said to her, oh, you lied on your ex. You lied on your baby daddy. She said, but you're the one who told me to lie on him. I said, who? Excuse me? Yes. It was all a setup. Then she was like, give me my money back. Give me my money back. Then you realize that the money she was making through her business, because he helped her to start a hair business, like she was selling oils, whatever. She was using that money to take care of that boy. She spent $170,000 to get that man's house out of foreclosure, because Gerard's house was in some type of foreclosure. He owed a lot of money, right? So Mercy spent like almost 6 figures to bail him out. And I'm like, I understand, because most likely when Yanni went into the PayPal account, he was seeing these large amounts of money being withdrawn. He's like, hold up, wait a minute. You're not about to spend, and on top of that, they have a daughter. I helped you. We built this together. We have a child. You're about to spend all of our money on this man. Right? So after all that she did, got in the car, defamed this man, say that he blocked the PayPal account. I was like, I don't see why he would do something like that. There has to be more to the story, because a man that you've known for 17 years, he's never behaved this way. And he woke up today and he just blocked the PayPal account out of nowhere. No, something is bizarre. And I didn't believe it. You know, and sometimes people think I'm mean because I don't go for all this believe all women stuff. No, because women lie. women do lie, they stay lying, and many of them are very manipulative. You know, because for me, I do feel like if you found somebody else and you don't love Yanni no more, you should be woman enough to tell him that. I don't love you no more. You did help me build my business. Here's how much I'm going to give you so you can take care of yourself, and I want to move on with this man. You can do it clean. You don't have to slander a person's name. So that her and Gerard, their relationship was built on a complete lie, and not just that, they defame another person to be together. You know, they really went after somebody's reputation who was really innocent, right? So, of course, their relationship was not going to last. Then they start putting hands on each other. They start recording each other. They started exposing each other. Even now, Gerard is on TikTok, exposing her, trying to act like he's a victim. And I was like, no, you're not a victim. You encourage her to destroy somebody's reputation. Right? Because you could have told her, hey, Mercy, if you're going to leave Yanni, let's do this thing the right way. Because he also did help you. Okay? But it didn't last. And now he's still slandering her on the TikTok. Because now he went from YouTube, and he couldn't really do well on YouTube because she has a bigger following here on YouTube. But she's not that big on TikTok. So he's on TikTok over there selling lies to people. And him and I, we went back and forth until he blocked me. I'm like, you're very dishonest. You know what I'm saying? You are a very dishonest man. And you two were in cahoots to make the world see Yanni in a very disgusting, abusive type of light. Like he just woke up out of nowhere and he just blocked the PayPal account and he don't want this girl to have access to her money or to have access to the business. But y'all were planning to take everything and to leave him with nothing. And he had the wits about himself to block these transactions before y'all could completely empty all these accounts. And good for him. Because later on, she doesn't know how to get her money back. Because, okay, this is what happened, right? Let me tell you what happened. Because Gerard's house was like in some type of foreclosure. So I think he owed like 170. It's more than 100,000 because I remember that. It's more than 100,000. I was like, girl, you got that kind of money? Y'all make that kind of money on YouTube? That's crazy. I didn't take YouTube seriously, right? So the thing was, their deal was she was going to front the money, get the house out of foreclosure. Once the house is out of foreclosure, he was going to refinance the house, right? And then take out some of the equity from the house, and then he was going to pay her back her money, right? And because she was sleeping with the man, she fell for that goofy shit without actually having a proper contract because he was piping her ass down, and she liked it. She loved it, okay? Because even when they were fighting, she would still go back and sleep with him and come back and tell her fans all kinds of BS. I kept up with everything. Okay. All right. So she gets the house out of foreclosure. He refinances. He does take the equity out the house, but he does not pay her back her money. I think he gave her like 20,000 or 30,000. But mind you, Mercy spent like over 100,000. What's she gonna do with $20,000? She need her money back. But he thought with the sex, and then he proposed to her. I think he said he spent 15,000 on the ring. But that's the money he got from the equity of the house, right? So I think he felt like, well, if I give her 20,000, I give her some good D, right? Like if I pipe her down and I propose to her, that's gonna shut her ass up, and she's not gonna ask back for her money. But he forgot she loves money. Okay, Mercy loves her money, child. So it wasn't good enough. So eventually she realized that he was full of shit. So that's when shit got real because she wanted her money back. The 30,000, it wasn't good enough. The 15,000 engagement ring is okay. That's only 45,000. She's still missing 130,000, something like that. She wanted her money back. Gerard did not have the money back. So she's okay. Since you can't pay me back, we'll just sell the house. And when we'll sell the house, I'll get my money back this way. He's like, no, you can't sell the house because this is my house. She's like, no, it's not your house because you sold it to me. Child, that's when everything started to come out. Everything they did against Yanni, it all came out. And I was like, you see, anytime somebody's rushing out here to make you hate someone, to tell you stories about someone, you need to ask them for context. So nothing happened. He just woke up and started acting crazy. That makes no sense. People don't act like this, right? That's why also when you have a lot of women who say, oh, my ex was a narcissist. My ex was a narcissist. I'm like, okay, sure. No problem. He was a narcissist. But what did you also do in your relationship, right? Because when a relationship falls apart, both of y'all had a part to play in it. Everything is not on him. You also did some things, right? But most people don't want to tell you what they did. They just want you to hate people for them. Since I don't like her anymore, I want you to hate her on my behalf. since I don't love him anymore, I want you to hate him on my behalf. No, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Because even for me, I'll tell you this, if being quite honest, right? That because of, you know, when like, because I used to be pro like crazy Obama. Like I used to be obsessed with Barack Obama until his second term in office. That's when I was like, nah, you played me. You ain't gonna get me no more, okay? But initially, I was really upset at Trump because growing up, I liked Trump. I've always liked Donald Trump. He had the books, he had The Apprentice, he even had like merchandise in Macy's. If you guys remember, you know, he used to have like ties and suits at Macy's. You know, his daughter also had a shoe line at Macy's, right? They used to do big business with Macy's. Trump was even part of the Macy's Thanksgiving parade, right? But when he started questioning Obama's citizenship, I didn't like that part. I really did take offense to that. I'm like, oh, so you racist? What is this, right? Because I was like, what is he trying to say? I didn't like that part. Now that I'm older, I'm like, you know what? You could have a point. I can kind of see where you're coming from, okay? But the more I got older, especially with this whole COVID situation, I really had to ask myself, like, why is it that these people want us to hate Trump so much? What is it about him that these corporations, the establishment, old school politicians don't like about Trump? What is it about him? Because if he was one of them, if he played like them, if he behaved like them, if he could be controlled like the rest of them, they would not have a problem with this man. You know, and that's why many of them, even Democrats, were really supportive of Nikki Haley. Because Nikki Haley, even though she's under the whole Republican flag, whatever, you know, she's still establishment. Okay? She's still about big corporations. She was on the board of Boeing and things like that. So it's like, yeah, she's Republican, but child, we know how to deal with this lady. The mere fact that they have so much hatred for Trump, even old school, like traditional Republicans don't like Trump also. It's not just the Democrats, right? Like establishment Republicans, they don't like Trump. Okay? Establishment Democrat, they don't like Trump, right? And I was like, what is it about this man that these people do not like? Because now I'm intrigued. Like now I truly want to know. Right? And I do feel like one part about this man is that they cannot control this dude. So does that mean that the rest of those people are controlled? Absolutely. And it's very apparent when you see how much money Kamala Harris was able to raise in 48 hours. Because a lot of corporations are behind her. A lot of these billionaires are behind her. Why? Because she can be controlled. Because if we're being honest, the White House is for sale. It's always been for sale, but we just didn't see it. Right? I mean, for me, honestly, I didn't see it like that. I remember like when Bill Clinton was in office, JP Morgan was quite often at the White House. Okay? He did a lot of business with JP Morgan. A lot of Bill Clinton's advisors were people from JP Morgan. There was this very famous black guy. I forgot his name. I could see his face, but he was one, like a big stockbroker. I think he also worked with JP Morgan. But JP Morgan had a lot of people who were advisors to Bill Clinton. But you didn't really think much of it. Okay, sure, whatever. It makes sense. It wasn't like, you know, it's not until you fast forward to the Trump era that you see what's really happening before then too. You have Obama who's running like he's going to be for the everyday person. But once he gets into office, he's very pro-bank. Okay, Obama was really about protecting these banks and saving these banks, whatever. So I'm like, okay, Wall Street really is involved in the White House. Like Wall Street really runs the White House. They really, really do. Right? And then you fast forward to the Trump era, Biden, and what's her name? Kamala Harris, right? And you really, really see how much Wall Street wants to control the White House. Now, on the surface, they can't make it seem like they're controlling the White House. They have to make it feel like we're the ones who are choosing. We are the ones who are electing a president. Da, da, da. But we are only electing the presidents that they agree with. So what does that mean? A few people go before Wall Street. Wall Street gets to pick the person that they want. Then the job of the DNC and all the money that these people are donating goes into the marketing to sell us their selection. So we are electing a selection. We are not electing our own choosing, right? Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense, right? We don't pick the people. The people are picked for us, and out of what is picked for us, we go and we vote. But these are not even our choices. Like, I'm like, because you really start thinking about it, they're not really, We vote for those that were selected for us to choose from. But these are not even our choices. We had nothing to do with the selection process, right? The American people are really never involved in the selection process, because if even the Republican Party, had they had their way, if they truly could have had their way, the problem with the Republican Party is the MAGA country, right? MAGA people are a force to reckon with, okay? Because if it was not for MAGA, I think they could have easily replaced Trump also. I don't think Trump would have been the nominee. I think what's that lady's name? Nikki Haley most likely would have won the Republican nomination. Or DeSantis would have won the nomination. Because they themselves don't want Trump. But the MAGA people are a force that you can't, there's nothing you can do when MAGA shows up. Like, you have to bend the knee to MAGA. So because he has MAGA, he is imposed. Like, they had no choice but to accept the man. You know what I'm saying? Because Trump is not, he's not the people, the old school Republican, like, what's his name? The guy who refuses to retire. Not Chuck Schumer. The other one with the round face who's like, he's about to die. His wife is Asian. The Republicans wanted Nikki Haley. That's who they wanted. Because she's what they can control. She's what they recognize as like pro-Republican, like pro-military, pro-army, go to war, all that kind of stuff, right? Nikki Haley is the old school Republican. Like, she's the traditional Republican nominee. Like, this is what you want, her or DeSantis, right? Mitch McConnell, right? Mitch McConnell is the old school Republican. Like, these are like the vanguards of like being a Republican. So you see him and Trump don't get along. They don't get along. Trump don't like him. He don't like Trump. Okay? Right? But Nikki Haley is, if you didn't have MAGA country, if you didn't have MAGA people, they would have found a way to finesse Trump out of the nomination, and they would have given that to Nikki Haley. Because when you see that a lot of Democrats were also pro Nikki Haley, right? CNN was like, oh, I hope Nikki Haley makes it. I'm like, why does CNN care who becomes the Republican nominee? Because CNN cares, because they want someone that they know, someone that they vibe with, right? They'll act like they don't like her, but behind the scene, everybody's friends, right? That's how it goes. Make sense, right? But they couldn't place Nikki Haley. And that's why it took her so long to drop out. Because if you remember, Vivek kind of dropped out early. Some people dropped out early, but it was like Ron DeSantis was dragging his feet. Like Chris Christie from Jersey, he dropped out pretty early because he didn't have the numbers, right? Vivek also dropped out, right? But it got down to, what's his name? DeSantis, I almost call him the sanctimonious. But DeSantis dragged his feet. But eventually he conceded, he dropped out, because I do think he wants to run again in 2028, right? So he knows. If he's seen as a traitor yet again, he will not be forgiven by MAGA country, though. So he's like, yeah, let me drop out, because if I plan on running in 2028, I don't want these people to be against me. So he dropped out, and he properly endorsed Trump because Trump made him, okay? Nikki Haley was dragging her feet because she was hoping that these court cases would also stick. She was hoping for something to happen. Trump could not be nominated, and so she was going to be the queen. But eventually, she also had to drop out. So even within the Republican Party, the old heads, the old school people, they were also hoping that Trump was going to get convicted of something, okay? Because they truly wanted Nikki Haley. Because she's the traditional Republican. Like, that's what the Republican Party truly stands for. Because Trump has changed the Republican Party. He really has. Even within the MAGA people, a lot of them also, I don't even think they used to vote. I don't think many of them people used to vote. I don't think many of them people used to care about politics. Right? But there's something about Trump that has made these people care about politics. And because Trump is a Republican, they just came over to that party. But they're really there for Trump. And they're a force to be reckoned with. Because if you think about MAGA country is not really rich white people. It's not really rich white people. It's more like blue collar worker white people. It's more like white people who make like regular money. You know, they're not very, I'm not trying to be offensive, but they're not like really sophisticated. They didn't go to the Ivy League. They, you know, it's like, what? They probably been working since they were 18 years old. You know, they use coupons, you know. They're like regular white people in America. Yeah, they're not rich white people. They're everyday white people, right? Because y'all, if y'all remember, if you can go back to, you go back to Obama, you go back to the Bush days, George Bush, the daddy, George Bush, the son, right? Even the days of Bill Clinton, right? Republican people, the real, like the, what we usually know to be Republicans are very bougie, elitist, rich as fuck white people. Okay? They always like, nose up in the air. We're too good for this. We're super, super rich. We all went to Harvard. We went to Yale. We went to Dartmouth. We went to Brown. We went to Columbia. Like, they're very old money, rich, old money white people, right? They don't mix with the regular population, right? They're very snooty, very elitist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at MAGA country, it's not the same. It's not the same white people. These are regular white people with regular jobs. You know, probably, like I said, they've been working since they were 17, 16, 18. Some might have degrees, some might not. But it's nothing like uppity white people like that. You understand me, right? It's like they regular white folks. There's just something about the message of Trump that has made people care about him and care about politics. But I don't even think that people used to vote Republican before. I don't even think they used to vote. I don't even think they used to vote like that. Because there's a war also, there's a cultural war within the Republican Party. Because MAGA country is not your old school, your daddy's Republican, your granddad's Republican, your great-great-granddad's Republican. They're not the same people. Right? And you see that. Even the way they dress, like I'm telling you, if you remember, if some of y'all can remember, like Republicans back in the day, when I tell you they were some fancy, bougie ass, stuck up ass, uppity ass white people with these bougie ass degrees from these bougie ass Ivy Leagues, right? But I'm like, MAGA is very different. You know what I'm saying? It's a very different type of people. So there's something that Trump said to these everyday people, like it just resonated with them, so they just took over the Republican Party. Cause I'm like me, I see. I'm like, these are not your old school Republicans. They really not. Because those Republicans of before, like the George Bush Jr., George Bush the daddy, right? These are really rich ass white people. And they themselves also didn't understand the everyday person. They didn't understand the everyday poor white person, the everyday blue collar white person. They didn't speak their language. They didn't speak their language. You know, they didn't make them feel welcome at all. And right now, it's like the Republican Party that we're seeing, it really is MAGA country working. Because they're coming out in droves, like, oh my gosh. And because we're not used to seeing these types of white people involved in politics, it does make people uneasy. Because we're more used to like the old school Republican who went to Yale, daddy went to Yale, mama went to Yale, the granddad went to Yale, everybody's super rich and they talk like this and they drink tea with their fingers up in the air. We're more used to those type of Republicans, right? But we're not used to seeing everyday struggling ass white people come out and care about politics. And I think that's the part that makes everybody feel uneasy. And that's why oftentimes they call them, they stormed the Capitol building. I don't even know if they stormed the Capitol building, if they were actually led to do it. Because the matter of the fact that we never had a proper hearing about what happened on January 6th like that, I also find that very concerning. And the fact that all the text messages from Secret Service from January 6th, where everything was erased, I found that to be very concerning. The fact that people saw people dropping bombs or like explosive on the steps of the Capitol building, and somehow they were not removed, that happened on January 5th, I find that to be very bizarre also. The fact that you do see videos and pictures of the police being like, yeah, come inside, come inside, come inside, I do find that very suspicious. So until we have a proper hearing about what happened January 6th, until I understand why Secret Service don't have any messages, all their messages were erased on January 6th, yeah, that is very bizarre. You don't have a backup somewhere. It's not a drive somewhere. You don't have memory somewhere. Yeah, that is also very bizarre. Okay? So, that's that. You know what I mean? You are so stupid, don't told you. Don't be trolling Gary. Gary's nice. Do not troll him. Okay? So that's the thing. But I'm like, so within the Republican Party too, there's a war that's going on because they don't want Trump themselves. Because Trump has way too much power. He has way too much power. So they also don't like him. Right? So I'm like, they were hoping he gonna get locked up somewhere, but I guess it didn't work out. Oh, Gary's very nice. Gary's very, very nice. Right? So then you have that. But I'm like, usually, but we didn't see it. But ever since COVID, I think everybody's eyes is like wide open. But I'm like, today we're starting to see things what we didn't see before. Is that we never really got to pick our own candidates. They were always picked for us. And then we voted on the people that were picked for us. And we were given the impression of, oh, this is our choice. This is who we want. No, we are just voting for people who were selected. And it's so obvious with Kamala Harris. You know, their desperation to defeat Trump has exposed so much of what goes on behind the scenes. They probably didn't mean to, but now I'm like, oh shit, this is how this works, right? We don't really get to pick the nominee. They're chosen for. We kind of saw that with like Bernie Sanders when they took the nomination from him and just gave it to Hillary Clinton because they wanted to, because they could. It's like, okay, that's kind of weird, right? But then we see it again with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Because 14 million people, like they said, casted votes for Joe Biden. But they're like, oh no, if you know what? I can't do it no more. She's going to do it for me. And I'm like, how's that okay though? Right? And now they're telling us, instead of having a proper debate at the DNC convention in Chicago, they're just going to do a virtual call. So once again, there's no process here. There's no integrity. Nobody can see. Nobody can know what's going on. They're going to tell, oh, we had a virtual call, and somehow she has enough delegates over a virtual call to be the official nominee. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. I'm like, what? So they're telling us, no, this is who we want, and this is the choice that you have. And then they tell all these networks and all the black people who work for these networks, you have to sell this to the people. Right? If you have to tell them that she's black, tell them that. If you got to tell them that she's a woman, tell them that, right? But the powers that be, especially all these venture capital funds, right? They have chosen Kamala Harris. Now, the reason why they're giving so much money into her campaign is for her to use it for marketing, whether it's MSNBC, it's CNN, it's D.L. Hughley, or all these type of people. They're going to be paid, right, to make us believe that this is who we want. This is what's good for us. This is the black choice. This, but it's nothing more than marketing. Because the choice has been made. Now the dollars have to be used into marketing, convincing people that this is the right choice for you. So to some people, she'll be sold as she's a great woman. Wouldn't you want to see the first woman president, right? To some people, she'll be sold as she's a black woman. Wouldn't you want to see the first black woman president? To some people, she'll be sold that she's Indian. Wouldn't you want to see the first Indian woman president, right? To some people, she'll be sold that X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, right? Whoever it is that they have to talk to, every single demographic, she will be sold as whatever they want to hear. Whatever they have to say for you to see yourself in her, that's how they're going to sell it to you. Right? So if you want to see a feminist, they'll sell her to you as a feminist. You see, she's going against these men. She's about her career. Womp, right? If you are a black woman, they'll sell her to you as a black woman. She went to Howard. She's an AKA. She's a Divine Nine. Blah, 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 blah. If you are a woman and you care about abortion, oh yeah, she believes in abortion, they'll sell her to you that she'll be whatever you want. That's the job of the media, right? It's to convince you that Kamala Harris is the choice. She's what you want. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, what's I gonna say? My thing is, when I was growing up, don't told you stop trolling Gary. When I was growing up, right, I truly believed that marketing was just to sell products. You're so damn stupid. Gary, if Don told you mess with him right back. Okay? Give him some pressure. Because that's what he likes to do. If he mess with you, mess with him right back. What's I gonna say? When I was younger, I used to think that marketing was just to sell products. You know, like, oh, you use marketing to sell a product, da-da-da. I never realized how much marketing was used in politics. Okay? I never realized that until now. And I'm like, no, we've never been hip to how much marketing is used in politics. So now think about all the people we supported, like people that we supported, we voted for. Was it really our choice or was it the marketing? Right? Because I'm like, wow, the amount of marketing that we are seeing, like for this woman, is crazy. Even DL Hughley, and that was DL Hughley. He needs to be honest. And every time he makes a post about this lady, he needs to do hashtag paid partner because they're all getting paid. Van Jones getting paid. They're all getting paid to push this woman on us, to make you think that you will be crazy. There's something wrong with you. There's something self-hating about you if you don't vote for this lady. And it's like, no. But it's all marketing, right? When you see someone like Bakari Sellers who is crying on TV, and I'm like, why are you crying for, Bakari? Like, what the heck is going on, right? But he's also on the payroll. He's part of the marketing machine, right? But I'm like, all of this right here, it's all marketing. It is all marketing. Right? Oh, look, she's a woman and they're attacking her because she's a woman. No, they're not. She's running for office. They have to attack her. I'm like, it's trial by fire. There's no way that you want to run for office. There's no way that you want to run for such a powerful position and you don't want to experience trial by fire. They have to attack you. Oh yeah, you self-hate. Yeah, that one too, right? But I'm like, it's all marketing. Like D.L. Hughley was really out here telling people that no, she never incarcerated black people. Like, girl, what? So the people have to go find the receipts. And he's like, oh yeah, it's right. I didn't do my research. But I'm like, so how are you going to promote somebody? How are you going to tell black people to go vote for somebody and you haven't done your research on that person? So you're not familiar with what she was doing as a DA in San Francisco and you're telling black people to go vote for her? Make it make sense. Right? But they want to distract. Oh, but JD Vance called people the cat ladies. Okay, you have a cat. What's the problem? What's the problem? Right? But I'm like, wow, I never realized, like, you guys, I'm being so serious. Like, I never realized that marketing is not just in selling coats and cars and like products. They do marketing on people too. They do marketing on political figures. They will sell you these people and they will sell you these people so well, you start thinking it's your choice. Like, no, that's what I want. This is what I really, really want. Right? Even abortion. I'm like, they spend so much money on abortion, promoting abortion, marketing abortion, right? That you don't even think, like, I can see how somebody could think like, yeah, I need to be able to have an abortion. I want an abortion. I must have an abortion because you're made to feel like it is your right. It's your human right. It's a man. A man is trying to take something from you. A man doesn't want you to have something. So you're like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, the man should not be able to tell me what to do. Child, all of this is nothing more than it's nothing more than marketing. Because I'm like, do you really want to have abortion? If you remove the fact that a man is trying to tell you what to do with your body, a man is trying to take your reproductive rights away from you, okay, let's kill the man, right? Take the man out of it. Do you really want an abortion? Most likely, it's no. Right? But the way they market that stuff to you, it's like, why would you say, like, if they're telling you a man, in this really individualized society where it's all about me, is super feminist, right? If you tell a woman that's a feminist that a man is trying to tell her what to do, of course you're going to be like, no, I'm going to do the total opposite because I want to prove to that man that he don't control me. But the whole time it's a setup. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's the marketing. Even when they teach you about like pediatric castration, right? These young people who are going on hormone suppressant, they call it gender affirming care. Hey, Felicia, you know what I'm saying?
I bought Trey and Neon for his
room. You want to hold him a little bit? Hopefully he stays quiet. If he gets a little rowdy, put him in this position. He likes that sometimes, like a little koala thingy.
Okay.
The other aunt's here too. She just wants to say, oh. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Hey, chef. What's up? All my British people, y'all not sleeping. Right? Makes sense. So, because that's the thing. And you know one thing about American people? American people, when you tell them they can't have something, now they really want to have it. Because you told them they couldn't have it. They didn't even care. Right? But just the fact that you say they can't have it, now they want it. And I think that's another thing also that makes Trump very appealing, is the fact that people are saying you shouldn't vote for him. Now people want to actually go vote for him. Like, why do you tell me I can't do it? You know, because it's very un-American to tell an American person that they can't do something, they can't have something, right? Because now it becomes a challenge. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it goes. You tell an American person they can't have a gun, now they want to have more guns. Just because you said they couldn't do it. Hold on, let me turn the lights on. Ooh, my booty. Oh, sorry, y'all. I got it. Oh, that's the fan. That's the light. Right? Ooh, my booty hurts. Okay. So it's like, no. Because you told me I couldn't do it, now I'm going to do it just because you said I couldn't. Right? It's like promiscuity. How they sold promiscuity to black women, it was like, oh, well, the black man can do it, so I can do it too, right? So there's female rap. We went from like the Queen Latifah, who had very conscious female rap. We had like MC Lyte that had somewhat conscious rap, to now it's like the female rap is just so degenerate. It's so nasty, right? Nobody even wants to listen to it. But initially it was like, well, if men are talking about sex, we want to talk about sex too. If men can be hoes, we want to be hoes too, right? That's how it was. Everything is, well, if a man can do it, I should be able to do it too. Exactly. So look, from the Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, right? Who else? You know, slow down. Go to Lauryn Hill. You fast forward. Look at female rap today in 2024. It's utter garbage. You can't even listen to it. The thing is just so nasty and filthy. And not just that, it's repetitive. All these girls, they sing the same thing. But everything came from the position of, if guys can do it, I can do it too. As opposed to say, you know what, we got to be better than these men. If men are being nasty and they're being misogynist and they're being, I don't know, all kinds of hoes, right? We as women, we should want to do something better, right? Like Lauryn Hill, she tried to give something better, and she got 5 Grammys out of it, right? But today, these girls, if a man is nasty, they want to be nastier. If a man is a degenerate, they want to be more degenerate. If a man is deranged, they want to be even more deranged. And it's like, it's a race to the bottom, because you're not a man. And you definitely should not want to be a toxic man, because this music is toxic. It is seriously toxic. It's toxic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's seriously toxic to me, you know? Yeah, she got out of there. Because it's deranged. And even now, a lot of people are going back to old school music, because you can't do this. It's just too filthy. It's just too filthy. It's just too nasty. It's way, 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 way too nasty, right? So but that too is marketing. I'm like, all these girls who are popping up, I don't think it's random. I think these record labels are throwing a lot of money behind these girls for their stuff to go viral on TikTok, for them to go viral on Instagram, right? Because they want to see young people behave that way. Because be honest, right? There is money to be made in STDs, you guys. The more young people have chlamydia, the more young people have herpes, the more young people have HIV and AIDS, the more young people have syphilis. There is a lot of money to be made. You know, sick people are a boon. Sick people are a great market, because sick people need medication. They need to go see a doctor. They need medication. They need follow-up exams, etc., etc. It's like, it costs money to be sick, right? So it's like, we have to market degeneracy to people, because the more young people engage in random sex, casual sex, with random ass hookups with random ass people, they're more likely to get sick. The more young people are sick, the more they're going to need medication. And a lot of these young people are also under the age of 25, 26, right? So they're still on their parents' insurance, right? So there's money to be had. There's money to be made from these young people, because they are still under 25 and they are still under their parents' insurance. So the parents going to pay, the insurance going to cover it, and the parents going to pay the deductible, right? Mental health, another issue, right? Like, or the child becomes an addict, Because all this behavior, it is bound to affect your mental state, right? So boom, boom, here again, you can make more money. Everything out here is about making, they want you to be sick, right? I was talking to my other friend. She was like, but Marley, because she's like, oh, she believes that healthcare should be free. I said, okay, you need to calm your little socialist ass down, okay? You socialist. You want everything for free. Everything cannot be free, right? But what I do believe is, it's like, we should make healthcare affordable. I don't think it should be free. Because once again, you make healthcare free, people are not going to take it seriously. Okay? Y'all got to stop with all this free stuff. Healthcare should be affordable. It should cost you something. Even if it's $10 or $20, it should cost you something. Because you should also want to be healthy. Because if you make healthcare free, completely free, people are going to start engaging in self-destructive behavior because they know that there's no bills to pay. No, we can't do that. Like, take me, for example, right? Remember with the pregnancy, when he was kind of late, I said, I don't want to have a C-section, not just because I don't want to be cut. I don't want to spend all kinds of money at the hospital. Why? Okay? So I was like, oh, I need to start walking because I don't want to have a C-section. Because, like, the bill came. I was going to show you all the bill. But for my pregnancy, my vaginal delivery, it was $11,000, right? So out of the $11,000, I only had to pay like $982 out of pocket. I said, oh, that's pretty reasonable. Right? And then for Maverick, his cost was like $5,000. We had to pay a $300 deductible. Right? So it's like, plus like some little bills that came. So I want to say like roughly 14, maybe everything together was like $1,600 out of pocket. Right? That's not too bad. When you have a C-section, you might end up in like $30,000, $50,000 of medical costs. Then how much am I going to pay out of pocket? That's, oh, hell no. Right? So when even though I have insurance, the fact that I do have a copay, I was like, let me start walking. So I started, like, there are ladies on YouTube who have like, there's exercises that you can do to trigger labor. So I did that for like 30 minutes. Then I started walking. And then the next day, my mucus plug came out. I said, thank you, Jesus. Because I ain't trying to spend all this kind of money. Right? When you know that healthcare is completely free, you can start engaging in self-destructive behavior. Not control your eating. I don't think it has to be. I don't think it needs to be free. I don't think it needs to be free. People need to be incentivized to also want to be healthy. Right? You understand? People need to be incentivized to want to be healthy. And the thing is, and what I told her too, right? And she was like, oh, but that's why, hold on, I know where I was going. And she was like, but that's why healthcare should be free. I said, no, because she said what you said. She said in other countries, healthcare is free. But I said, Valencia, one of the reasons why healthcare is also free in other countries, because in other countries, people are not glutinous like we're glutinous over here, right? In other countries too, they don't modify their food. The thing, like, because when you say make healthcare free, you're also missing out on the fact that nutrition has to be better. Our food has to be better. Because a lot of the diseases that many Americans are facing are most often diseases induced by poor diet. Because our food is modified. Right? Oh, and in other countries, people actually eat organic food. They don't have Monsanto doing genetic modification of their food. Over here, our food is genetically modified. They're trying to give us food or fruits that don't have seeds. They want to give us lemons that don't have seeds. They want us to eat watermelons that don't have seeds. This is crazy, right? We need to go back to eating normal food. You have Bill Gates who wants us to eat meat that's made in a lab. You really do get what you pay for, right? So one of the big problem here too is the nutrition. The food is so bad that it's causing people to be overweight. People become overweight. Now they're pre-diabetic. They're diabetic. Wumpty wump wump. Wumpty wump wump. Okay? No. We need to, these corporations need to leave our food alone. Stop giving us this fake food. Because it's like, and a lot of people will say this, like when they leave America and they go to a foreign country, they can eat as much as they want, but they still lose weight. Why? Because the food is not modified. It is not genetically modified. So it's not just a thing about, oh, let's just focus on the healthcare. No, we got to also fix what people put in their mouths, right? Another thing also, when you talk about Europeans, right? When you talk about Europeans and free healthcare and things like that, But you cannot miss out on the fact that European people also are more active than American people. A lot of people in France don't have cars. They walk everywhere. They're always walking. A lot of people in Europe are always walking because they don't have cars. Many apartment buildings in France do not have elevators. You have to carry your groceries up the elevator, right? People buy their groceries and they have to pull their groceries to their homes. Then once they get to their homes, they gotta walk their groceries up to the house. So because of that, people are very mindful of what they buy because they know I can't buy whatever I want because I gotta walk up these stairs with my food. But the average European compared to the average American, they walk more than how we walk. We don't walk enough. We are a very sedentary people. So I don't think it's fair off the bat to be like, oh well, because healthcare is free in Europe, we should also make it fair in America. No, because we live very differently. We exercise differently. We eat more than they do. We eat modified food. We need to fix our food. That's number one. Number two, we need to fix the level of activity. American people spend way too much time in their couches, on their bed, right? Not moving enough. We don't move enough. We don't move enough. If you look at Europe too, I promise, I'm pretty sure Europeans are not always ordering food from DoorDash, from Uber Eats, and this and this and that. They don't. We have a very unhealthy relationship with food in this country, myself included, okay? But that's what happens when you live here. We have a very, very unhealthy relationship with food, and that also needs to change. But oh no, let's not fix the eating habits. Let's not fix the food. Let's not bring it back to what it was. Let's not encourage people to move more and move their bodies more. No, let's just make healthcare free. No, I don't agree with that part. No. Healthcare. We gotta look at if we want to have a healthy population, you have to look at the whole thing, the integrity of the whole thing, right? Not just the medical part of healthcare. Because I think that's the problem. When people hear healthcare, they only consider the doctor and the hospital and the medication. No. Because food also, having access to healthy food that is not genetically modified, is also part of healthcare. Right? Like today, you see all these young girls at 9, at 8, even some people at 7 years old, they're having their period at 8, at 9. Why is a 9-year-old having her period so early? Right? When my mom was growing up, most girls were having their period at 16. Right? It's like now the period age is getting younger and younger and younger. Young girls having their period at 10 years old. They having their period at 9 years old. Some of them you have young girls who are 9 years old who have like full boobs. Like, whoa, she's 9. Why she got them big boobs for? It's the food. It's the food. Right? And I'm like, I feel like if you fix the food, if we go back to eating natural food, the way God made it, the way nature made it, with nobody interfering with our food, right? I think a lot of people, their weight's going to go down. Many of their diseases going to go down. A lot of people going to stop being diabetic. Right? All the sugar, this corn syrup that's in everything. Corn syrup in the soda, corn syrup over here, fructose over here. Why don't we go back to using sugar canes? Right? Things don't have to be as sweet. In America, things are extremely sweet. Soda don't have to be this sweet. Juice don't have to be this sweet. Even like, I don't know, even bread, they put so much sugar in the bread, it's ridiculous. Like, food does not have to be so sweet. This is ridiculous. But it's the food. It is so modified. And a lot of these cancers are also related to what's in our food. You know what I'm saying? Another thing too, better health. If we want to have better health care, we have to reduce the stress levels. Stress levels have a tendency of creating inflammation. Cancer is a form of inflammation. Lupus is a form of inflammation, right? Teach American people to reduce their stress level. Stop being obsessed with more. Stop living in debt. Stop living above your pay means. Like, you need to lower your stress. And for a lot of people, the stress is financial. The stress is really financial. You know what I'm saying? The stress is financial, but with more stress, you raise the cortisol, the body starts to break down. Because people are just way too stressed. And the majority of stress for the American people is their finances, right? You fix the finances for a lot of people, they're going to start being healthy again. because they're not really sick, they're just broke. And when you're systemically broke, you start to get sick because you're broke, you're stressed out. And when you're stressed, you have the flu, you have a cold, because your immune system takes a hit because you're always stressed out. So I don't like the notion of like looking at healthcare as just like the medical system, like the doctor, the hospital, and then the drug treatment, like the drug therapy. No, that's a piece of healthcare, right? But food also goes into healthcare, right? Stress level also goes into healthcare. Having a good quality of life goes into healthcare. Having enough sleep also, it matters. People who don't sleep enough have a higher instance of having a heart attack because you're tired. You're seriously tired, right? The average American doesn't even sleep 8 hours a day. That is not healthy. A lot of salt also, I'm telling you, like, it's the food. And then we need to also have more exercise because Europeans, they walk everywhere. They have small streets. They have small cars. The majority of Europeans can't even afford cars. So they're always taking public transportation. So they're constantly working. They're constantly walking. We don't walk enough. We have everything delivered to us, our food delivered to us, our groceries delivered to us, or whatever we want from Amazon is delivered to us, and that takes away from the fact that we don't walk enough outside. We don't walk enough. We don't exercise enough. Yeah. Now, African people stay walking. They always walking. So they're so small, right? But our food is a big problem. So I don't think we have to make healthcare free. But we definitely have to focus on the entire ecosystem that makes up healthcare to make sure that the average American can live a long life and live a healthy life, right? Japanese people, like Asian people, also tend to live long because they eat smaller portions. They walk after every meal, right? They reduce the level of stress. They're not super excessive like we are about designer goods and using all this consumer credit that we can't pay for, right? We have to teach American people to live below their means. Just because you can't finance it doesn't mean you should buy it. And I had to learn that lesson my damn self because it creates stress. And the more stress you have in your life, the more weight you're going to put on. And the more weight you put on, the more you're going to get sick. The more you get sick, the more time you have to take off from work, right? So reducing stress, especially when it comes to making better financial choices, it's going to help you to stay healthy. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff, like it's a lot of the way we live, like our lifestyle choices and the way we eat, they truly do play a part in how sick we get, and people definitely need to have more rest. Like people need to rest, and we also need to start encouraging people to take their vitamins, right? Take your supplements. But if you take good care of your body, it can still happen, but if you really take good care of your body, the odds of you always needing to go to the hospital, always being in the hospital, they're not going to be that high because you take good care of your body, right? We have to, when it comes to like being healthy and avoiding diseases, we should be more on the offensive. When I'm young, what do I need to do, right? When you're middle age, what you need to do, right? Even like having a yearly checkup. If you do more preventative stuff, you're less likely to need these huge surgeries or these expensive ass medication. Right? And then also, when it comes to the pharmaceutical side of things, we should have more competition. So if there are people in Venezuela who can make a certain drug for way cheaper than, let's say, Pfizer, they should be able to sell their drug in the American market. Right? We should definitely have a global competition for the drugs. Right? If there's somebody in France who can make an insulin shot way cheaper than American business, they should be able to sell their stuff here in America. Right? We gotta free the market for drugs for the price to really come down. Absolutely. But I don't think it has to be free. It can definitely be affordable, right? But I'm not for making stuff free because a lot of things have to be fixed. Because these drugs are also extremely expensive. And why are they so expensive? But you go to a different country, the same drug that's $3,000 here, over there is $50. Then those people should be allowed to sell their drugs on the American market. And then whoever the patient is, they get to decide, do you want to support this American brand for $3,000 or would you rather buy this French product for $65? Let it be a free market. Yeah. Let it be a free market. We need to have more competition with pharmaceuticals. It can't just be Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson and whoever's out there, like just these like 5 companies who get to have a monopoly on our drugs. No. let everybody who can, if you have a good drug and you can pass the FDA testing, you should be able to sell your drugs in the American market. And let the people decide what they want to buy. You want to buy this brand or that brand, right? But I don't like that we have this monopoly when it comes to pharmaceuticals. I don't like that too. And that also should be talked about at a presidential debate, right? We should be talking about we should be having real conversations over here. Because these drugs are way too expensive. The same drug is $3,000. You go up to Canada, it's $30. That don't make no sense. So if I'm here, I pay $3,000. If I drive 300 miles, then it's $30. Please explain that to me. That makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? That makes no sense. People should not have to be excessively charged to have access to medication. No. Open up the market, let these pharmaceutical companies compete. And eventually the price will come down, and that's better for everybody. So you see, like, making it free is not really the thing, right? Opening up competition is what's going to make it better for everyone. Because then the prices come down, and then people then can choose from different providers what do they want. Do you want this brand or that brand, whatever? You and your doctor are going to decide. But I'm like, we have to open competition when it comes to pharmaceuticals. Right? And that's the conversation they don't want us to have. That's why all this race baiting stuff, I'm no longer falling for it. All these gender war stuff, I'm not falling for that too, because these are nothing more than distraction. These conversations are old and they're tired. We're all tired, right? We want to talk about how do you move this country forward? And because we have such a huge population, we have a lot of people who are going to live longer. People are having less and less children. So Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, I don't think it's going to be here for long. So people have to know how they're going to take care of their medical bills and things when they get older. And also, we have to keep the American body as healthy as possible for as long as possible. So that way, people are less likely to lean on Medicare and Medicaid, right? It really is enslavement. But they want us sick. They want us sick. They want us sick financially. They want us sick in our relationship. They want you sick in your body. They want you sick in your mind. Because you can make so much money off of a sick person. Right? You can make so much money from a sick person. And so people got to wake up and start getting smarter. Like, I'm not falling for that. And that's what, and I'm like, and I wish these were the kinds of like debates people were actually having. I wish these were the kind of debates these politicians are having. But it does seem like many politicians do not want to have this conversation because they don't really want to fix anything. Right? They have their corporate donors and they want to keep these people happy. And they want to waste our time. Like, oh, well, I couldn't do nothing because he stopped me. Well, I couldn't do it because he stopped me. Man, shut up. Right? Yes, it's very corrupt. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of corruption in American politics. There's a lot of corruption. And people are getting cheated. You know, people are really getting cheated. I'm like, it's not, to me, it's not fair. Because people deserve to know. But at the same time, too, I think this election has revealed that a lot of people politically are very unsophisticated, right? We have a lot of people who don't understand politics, who don't even know what policies they need because they probably never even thought about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems as though a lot of people are under the impression that you work for the politician as opposed to the politician works for you, right? So when you have it backwards, maybe you don't get to sit down and say, you know, what do I actually need from my politician? Right? What are the things that I'm currently worried about? And what are the things that I do believe that 5-10 years from now, I am going to be worried about? Right? Oh, my sister-in-law took him. He was just here. You missed him. Yeah. They came to help us like set up and stuff because it's a lot of stuff. So he's with them. I think my sister's coming later too. Right? So that's what you want to do. But they're robbing people. They are truly robbing people from having these meaningful conversations and from people asking some serious. He said being raised by palm people. You are so stupid. You are so dumb. Jimmy is not white. You are silly. You did not call my people the palm people. Done told you something is wrong with you. Okay? Oh, it seems like Maga is exposing Jay-Z. What's happening? What did Jay-Z do now? Okay. So, But maybe these conversations, because I feel like sometimes I do feel like politicians, they kind of keep up with what's being said on social media, right? So maybe those conversations will actually start here on social media, and then they'll start talking about it. But I'm like, yeah, people, we need to start having real conversations. Okay, the national debt needs to be a real conversation. The economy needs to be a real conversation. It seriously needs to be a conversation. And I hope anybody right now that has little kids, right? Little kids who are up to high school age or haven't started high school yet, I hope you see, you as a parent, you truly need to be invested in your child's education, and you truly need to make sure, right, that your kids are challenging themselves at school, because life is not going to be easy the way it used to be. It's gonna get more. The competition gonna get worse, right? The type of pay is not gonna get any better, right? So it's like it's really gonna be up to the kids who really push themselves the most. He said, "Maverick gonna grow up to be an opposite Tatum." What you mean? Gonna have a white woman as a wife? You are crazy. You are so crazy. I was adopted. LOL. You are so crazy, right? So like that's the thing that yeah. Okay, Gary, go get off from work, right? Now people gotta think about that. You gotta talk to these young people, and you really have to tell them to challenge themselves and to push themselves hard at school, because tomorrow's future is gonna be very competitive. Because with this AI stuff, I saw a video of an entire what's the salad store? Oh, there's this franchise that just makes all kinds of salad. I forgot what it was, right? The entire food line, like the whole, when you order, everything is made by machine. The machine picks out your lettuce, it picks out your topping. Like the entire store probably has like 2 workers in there. So I'm like, it is coming. It really is coming. Oh, I can just play with my life. I can play with my grades, and somehow I'm going to find a job in retail. I'm going to find a job working at the store. Child, please. They're going to have nothing but machines. They're going to have nothing but machines. So when that happens, what kind of job are you going to have? So you got to talk to these young people. If you have kids, you got to talk to your kids. You can't be slacking up in school. You can't take your school for granted, because the tomorrow that is coming, it's an AI tomorrow. No, it's real. It's really coming. Self-driving cars, self-fulfilling orders, stores with no staff, restaurants with no staff. It's robots serving you food. Those days are coming. Those days are coming. When houses are going to be so expensive, nobody can afford to buy a house. Right? So some parents too, like they might have to think about, starting to build their kids' credit early on, right? If you have bills that that you pay without ever missing a beat, you might want to start adding your kids to that so you can start building their credit, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, it's going to become more and more competitive. And they don't want people to think about that. Keep distracting them with gender wars, abortion conversation, racism conversation, right? Men versus women conversation and things like that, because they don't really want people to see what's coming ahead, because it's not a pretty picture. Because once people start to panic, what are they going to do? Right?
Calling Kamala Harris's bluff about say it to my face.
Trump is like, he got smoke for that lady.
Alright guys, so we gotta talk about the news that President Trump has come out with a bombshell announcement saying that he has agreed with Fox News to debate Kamala Harris on Wednesday, September 4th. And his reasoning is that the debate was previously scheduled against Sleepy Joe Biden on ABC, but has been terminated, in that Biden will no longer be a participant. And I am in litigation against ABC Network and George Slopanopoulos, which is a hilarious nickname, thereby creating a conflict of interest. That is true, right? That is 100% a fact, okay? The Fox News debate will be held in the Great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania at a site in an area to be determined. The moderators of the debate will be Brett Baer and Martha McCollum, and the rules will be similar to the rules of my debate with Sleepy Joe, who has been treated horribly by his party, but with a
I don't think so. Because the issue was, which I agree with him on that. I really do. I truly do. Because for me, I'm like, you got to be fair. If they had a debate on CNN, because the first one, The Democrats gave all the rules. He agreed to all the rules because they thought he was going to be scared and he's not going to do it. And he's going to be a crybaby. He's like, that's fine. I'll show up, right? And I think CNN did a pretty good job. It was okay. It was, they tried to be fair, but they were kind of leaning towards Joe Biden. And I kind of felt like they gave Joe Biden the questions ahead of time because I feel like he was reading stuff. So I'm like, Because when it came to Hillary last time, they also gave Hillary the questions ahead of time. So I'm like, okay, if you do one debate for a left liberal leaning channel, you also got to do another one for the right wing channel too. If one time you go on CNN, then another one you also got to go with Fox. It only seems fair to me, right? But it's like, no, they want all their debates to be on friendly turf for Kamala Harris or for Joe Biden, right? So like Trump is the only one who always and consistently has to go in hostile territory. And like these Democrats never want to go on the other side because they're not going to get the questions ahead, right? And it's not going to be as friendly to them. And I'm like, but that's not, how is that fair? How's that fair? Right? No. You do one, you already did CNN. Go to Fox. Be fair. Okay? And the thing about this too, whether it's CNN or ABC or even Fox, they make money off these debates. They make a lot of money. Like when CNN was doing theirs and they were streaming, they were taking down anybody's stream if you didn't show the logo for CNN, right? Because they want the views. I don't know if there's a middle ground channel, but I just feel like listen, even though I do want something for black people, right? But I just say like, if you also become the U.S. president, you have to be the president of all people. You can't just be, well, I'm a president, I'm going to completely ignore this segment. That's how you create all this frustration, okay? And all this resentment and things like that. If you become a U.S. citizen, if you become the U.S. president, you are the president for all American people, even the immigrants. Like, you are everybody's president. So for me, it's like you do have a lot of people who also watch Fox News. Go over there. So you can start with CNN, go to Fox News, and then go to ABC. And then y'all can go to MSNBC. I don't know, right? But I feel like the major networks should be able to also host a debate. It shouldn't just be, only the left-leaning networks get the debates, and then Fox News gets nothing. Why is that? That's not fair, right? Like I said, if she wants to prove to us that she can do she can do the job, and she's no different than a man, and she got what it takes, right? We have to see her be able to go in hostile territory. What if she has to have a debate with, like, she has to go negotiate with Vladimir Putin? What's she gonna do? She's not gonna do it, right? What if she has to go and negotiate with President Ping from China? She ain't gonna do it. Like, come on, sis, right? So if you can't do it, then don't run for office. Oh, hey, Mark, you fell asleep, right? So that's the way that I feel. I think it should be like half and half. CNN got one. I consider CNN to be like left-leaning liberal media, whatever. So I'm like, okay, then go to Fox News. Go to the conservative side. Like, go to the right-wing conservative side too, because as somebody who's running for office, you should try to get everybody's vote. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel like when it's Trump is outside. Even places that are considered to be hostile, he still shows up. And I do respect that about him. He goes out to Atlanta. He goes to the Bronx. He goes over here. He went to the whole, like, the journal, the Black People Journalists Association stuff. He also went there. They were unprofessional. They made him wait. He was very patient. You know? And I'm like, and they're scared of that. Like, yo, like, this dude is not afraid. He's not afraid. I'm like, that's why I said, like, nobody's afraid of Kamala Harris. Nobody in their right mind will ever be afraid of Kamala Harris. Even the dead people at the cemetery are not afraid of Kamala Harris. Okay? Come on now. Make it make sense. He's outside, Mark. He is constantly outside. Because I'm like, especially when it came to the Bronx, right? AOC, Cortez, she should have been the first one to have a rally outside. Because the Bronx, these are the people that she represents, right? She wasn't even outside. They go, even her office in the Bronx, right? She's supposed to be there like once a week. I think it's like every Thursday. She barely shows up. Buscando. That people are looking for her. They can't find her. Because she's hiding from her own constituents. She's hiding. Trump comes to your neighborhood, to your barrio. He's completely outside. The park was completely full of people. I thought the man was racist. Right? When AOC went outside, it was not that many people. Because her own people don't like her. They don't like her. Right? But I'm like, anytime they say, oh, well, he not going to do it, he shows up. Y'all going to show up because y'all scared. Child, you was so tired. You got to get some rest. Oh, no, today's the 3rd. Oh, Lord. So I'm like, I understand why he would cancel. Because even me, I would cancel too. I'm not doing this. Why should he go? Why should he go to ABC? And the black girl who talked to him crazy, who's like, oh, you called a woman an animal, you did this and that. The girl who called, he was like, girl, you're being rude. Like, what's your problem? She also works for ABC. So after she just spoke, first of all, he don't like George Stephanopoulos. Number 2, the way that girl talked to him. Number 3, he's suing ABC. So no. If ABC is sending out people to talk to him crazy and to disrespect him, why is he going to show up to ABC and enable them to make all this money off of him? I'm not doing that. Because they know one thing about Trump, he a businessman. He understands money. You're not going to get all these views and all this advertisement money off of me when you disrespect me. You send people to disrespect me, and you are now right now in court. So no, you're not making money off of me. You're not.
This doesn't mean it's set in stone. Trump made the announcement just before midnight last night in a post on Truth Social. The Fox debate would take place in Pennsylvania in front of a live audience.
Good.
But so far, no exact location has been provided. So it's unclear if Vice President Kamala Harris has accepted the invitation from Fox News or if she would agree to the new debate terms. Now, this comes just hours after the Democratic National Committee announced VP Kamala Harris secured enough delegates to clinch her party's nomination. Her place on the presidential ballot will be official on Monday when the virtual roll call ends. And she's also expected to announce her running mate pick that day. They are slated to make their first appearance together on Tuesday at a rally in Philadelphia. ABC News reports the vetting process has now ended, and a campaign vetting team has met with Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the news that President Trump has come out with a bombshell announcement saying that he has agreed with Fox News to debate Kamala Harris on Wednesday, September 4th. And his reasoning is that the debate was previously scheduled against sleepy Joe Biden on ABC, but has been terminated in that Biden will no longer be a participant. And I am in litigation against ABC Network and George Stephanopoulos, which is a hilarious nickname, thereby creating a conflict of interest. That is true, right? That is 100% a fact, okay? The Fox News debate will be held in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania at a site in an area to be determined. The moderators of the debate will be Brett Baer and Martha McCollum, and the rules will be similar to the rules of my debate with Sleepy Joe, who has been treated horribly by his party, but with a full arena audience. Okay, so Trump is essentially calling Kamala Harris's bluff about say it to my face, okay? And Trump has said, you know what? We should have a debate on Fox News September 4th on a platform that's not going to kiss Kamala Harris's ass, right? That is what Trump is saying here. And he has the right to demand the first debate be on his terms since Biden knocked himself out of the first debate and Democrats did the switcheroo at the last minute. Okay, I mean, it's just so funny how.
And the thing, and you know what, you guys, I'm gonna say this too, because me, I'm on that type of energy, right? One thing I love about Trump too, I'm gonna say this, right? This is how you want your president to be.
He just happened to pee on his answer.
How? It went through his clothes?
Yeah.
Maverick, what you looking for?
About to change him.
You have to. What's it called? No, I'm being serious. I'm like, all jokes aside, you guys, all jokes aside, this is really what you want from your president, okay? You want a president who, like, what you say again? Say it to my face. I'm on that type of time. I really am. Here you go. Is this thing wet?
Yeah. There's no onesie.
You gonna put him in this one that doesn't fit?
This one?
Is it cold? Is it cold downstairs?
Not really.
Maverick, everybody's asking about you. Oh, Kevin said hi to you earlier. Is Kevin here? Say hi to Kevin, child.
Hi, Kevin.
Yeah, hopefully he can hear you. Okay, so it was like, I really love that stuff. It's like, say it to my face. Because who is that?
Shoo shoo.
Oh, hey, Shushu. Because for me, it's like, yeah, Kevin says hi again. Because for me, if you got all this mouth from your house, you got all this mouth from your VP house, you got all this mouth from that White House, come outside. I'm trying to see something. When I tell you Gemini's been acting out all summer, I love it. From Kendrick Lamar to Trump, I love it. If you gonna say something, say it to my face. You talking too damn much. You are talking too damn much. So like me, this the kind of energy I need. When you have someone...
Wash his clothes. I'll give him another onesie.
What'd you say?
We wash his clothes. I'll give him another onesie.
They're in the dryer.
Okay.
He's okay. You can manage him. Take his blanket.
Mama.
I don't think he's calling mama, but he go crazy. Give him to me.
Let me get him a onesie.
Yeah, I can hold him. Give him to me. Everybody's asking like, where? Somebody said, where is your baby when you're doing all these lines? The baby is with the daddy. Mav. You're gonna be a staple on this channel, huh? Uh-huh. Say hi, Auntie Cat. She was asking about you. Yeah. Say hi. Say hi. You little baby Gemini. Yeah, he's not calling mama, child. I'm like, mama. Mm-hmm.
Top him off, and when you're done, I'll come get him again.
Yeah, right. What, did he say he was hungry, though?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Child. When he cries, y'all bring it back to me.
Yep.
Then when he's...
works.
Child. Mav. No, I really appreciate that in it. I really appreciate that about him. Like, if you say something, he gonna pull up. If you dare him not to, he gonna show up. So you better not be talking smack. Because Trump is around the corner. Hold that girl accountable.
These people are so stupid, right? In regards to their justifications for why Trump should agree to do a debate with Kamala Harris, even though he did not agree to do a debate with Kamala Harris. He agreed to debate Joe Biden, but if you listen to MSDNC, Trump agreed to do a debate with Kamala Harris, and that he's pulling out. He's running scared. Okay, this is MSNBC repeating the same talking points from the Kamala campaign. He's running scared of Kamala Harris. But again, these people don't ever ask questions about why is it that Kamala Harris refuses to do a town hall, an interview, or even a press conference on any platform.
Yeah.
From Kamala Harris's campaign team, they have basically said Donald Trump's running scared. He's chicken. He will not meet her on a previously agreed debate stage. I want to ask you first, Susan, as to this idea that now he wants to go to Trump-friendly, grounds of Fox, and he'll do it before some huge live kind of audience. I mean, what's the idea of the fact that he actually won't meet Kamala where he agreed to meet her before?
No.
He is.
And you see how they lie like this. This is why I can't take them people seriously, right? When did Trump ever agree to meet this lady? Yeah, Maverick. Where did he agree to meet the lady, Maverick? Huh? I don't know. Child. Baby, you gonna make me use my breast pump. Yeah. Well. Hold on, little Gemini. Hold on. Yeah, you were all quiet and they came and got you. I know. You were sleeping quietly. And people came and they got the baby. And now the baby is crying. Then they bring me back the baby. No, like he never agreed. Oh, baby. Auntie Abby says hi. She has to come hold you so I can do my live in peace. How about that? You want her to come from Texas so she can hold you for a little bit? Yeah. right? I'm like, when did he ever agree to meet this lady? I'm like, they never agreed to meet. I'm like, who is she? Okay. No. Because, and the thing is, just like with CNN, I promise you, CNN, they gave Joe Biden the questions early on. He had the questions ahead of time. That's why he was rehearsing at Camp David. He was locked up in there for like over 7 days practicing, and he still showed up and he still fumbled the bag. Okay? But I'm like, he never agreed to meet you, sis. He agreed to meet Joe Biden. He agreed to meet Joe Biden. But the problem is, what the Democratic Party trying to do, they're trying to use Donald Trump. They're trying to use Donald Trump as a stress test, right? So if she had debated Trump before they agreed to their nomination, because that's what he said. He said he don't have a problem debating the girl. She just needs to be the official nominee, right? Because one thing you're not about to do, you're not about to use me as a stress test. Because if he had known that they were going to have Joe Biden debate him to see how well Joe Biden could do, and if Joe Biden could win, I don't think he would have agreed to the debate, right? So they send Joe Biden out there. He doesn't perform well. Like, well, now we know you're not going to win, so let's put another candidate up, right? So now they wanted him to debate Kamala Harris before before they actually made her the official nominee. He's like, no, because if I debate her again, if I debate her too, and she does poorly, you're going to replace her. Because when it comes to Democrats, they can do whatever they want and nobody holds them accountable. They get to change the rules. They can do whatever they want. They can be as undemocratic as they please, right? And nobody holds them accountable because Trump is the only demon over here, right? So I'm not understanding exactly where he's coming from. Why is he going to allow himself to be used as a stress test when y'all just need to go ahead and find your best person, whether you want to cheat or not, it's on you, right? But once you have an official nominee, that's the person I'm going to debate. So that way you're locked in and I'm locked in, we all locked in. Because we all thought that Joe Biden was locked in to be the official nominee until they saw how poorly he did with Trump. It's like, oh my gosh, he's doing so bad. Oh my gosh, he's not healthy. Yo, Joe Biden has been unhealthy for the past 2 years. Okay? But as soon as he debates Trump, and it's like, you can no longer hide it. It's like, oh, well, you know what? Oh, yeah, he's so sick. Oh, my gosh, he's not doing so well. Oh, my gosh, something is wrong with him. Shut the hell up. You guys knew that something was wrong with this man. Okay? In my preferred English, you've been known something was wrong with this dude, right? So if Joe Biden had done well, irrespective of his current disease, like, because he's not doing well, against Trump, they would have kept him in there. But the fact that it was just so obvious that he's really, really not okay, right? They go ahead and change the rules again, and out of nowhere, Kamala Harris is chosen because allegedly, there's all this money, and only her and Joe Biden can claim it. And since Joe Biden can claim it, it has to absolutely be her. I'm like, who wrote these rules? God? No. These rules were written by man. You can change the damn rules. And anybody else can have access to this money if they're the best candidate. But you don't want it to be an open process, right? You know who you want. Because whatever Joe Biden was working on, you need somebody to finish that, right? So that's why you want it to be Kamala, because she's part of the administration, and she'll go along with it. Exactly. You've been known that this man was not okay. It didn't take that one debate with Donald Trump for them to be like, oh, you know what? Something is wrong with this man. We think he has dementia. He's been had dementia. He's been calling for dead people. He has been walking off a stage. He's been mumbling his words. He's been doing weird things for the past 2 years. This is nothing new. Like, stop.
Scared of her. That's why his attacks on her are basically hateful and mean. There's no substance to anything he has to say about the vice president. And let's not forget, now we're going to have a candidate up there. We're going to see 2 people debating. And I do believe she will debate him, and even if it means going to Fox. But she's going to present a case. And Donald Trump is going to be left stammering and wandering off and not finishing his sentences and talking about sharks and boats and who knows what. And I think he is afraid of that comparison. Even if they both agree to a Fox debate, I still think he says, at the end of the day, I'm a no-show.
Why?
Look, Congresswoman, if I'm Kamala Harris, I say exactly what she's done. Meet me at the one you agreed to do. Maybe she does the Fox one. She's not required to do it. We've seen an unscripted Donald Trump. That was NABJ. We see what it's like.
So hold on. So once again, the feminists are once again asking, make things easier for me. You see what I'm talking about? Right? Because it's like, once again, is she not an American? whether she's black or Indian or whatever she happens to be, is she not American? Is she not running for president? Why are you afraid to go to Fox? What's going to happen if you go to Fox? So you don't know how to handle yourself by going to Fox. But yet you want to be the president of the American people. Take your ass to Fox, you damn feminist. Okay? Take your behind the Fox. But no, Trump has to do things her way. Trump has to come where she wants him to come. Trump, I'm like, when you become a president, do you think everything is going to go the way that you want it to go? Oh, hey, Nikki, what's up? You think everything going to go the way you want to go? No. You got to roll with the punches. But I'm like, if you're that afraid to go to Fox News, I'm like, imagine if Fox News scares you that much. What you going to do if you meet Vladimir Putin face to face? You going to run and hide your face? Right? If you have to go and meet President Ping, or if you have to go to China, you're not going to go because you're scared. Is you scared, girl? Are you scared? Fox News got you scared. How are you going to handle all these world conflicts that are about to befall us? Like, make it make sense. Okay, in life, you don't get to control everything. You have to learn to roll with the punches. Okay? If he tells you, okay, he met Joe Biden. If now you got to go to Fox, then go to Fox's. Exactly. She's going to crumble. I'm like, Fox News got you this scared? My Lord. Even me, I will go to Fox News. I ain't scared. Bring it on. What you got? But she is so petrified because she's manufactured. She's a puppet. Like she has no mind of her own. Like she's just so damn weak. She's so damn weak. She's a whole puppet. You think me, if they say, oh, Marlon, you got to pull up and go to Fox News, I sure will pull up and go to Fox News. I ain't scared. And that's why you got to prep yourself. If there are certain things that you're not sure of, whatever, then this is the time for you to prep yourself. Well, it's August, right? You have about 30 days to prep yourself. Pull up at Fox News and show us what you're made of. Because when you run for office, if you do become president, everything is not going to work out your way. Okay? You don't get to dictate everything. If tomorrow a war happens, it's not going to say, oh, let me check our calendar and let me see if I can happen today. No. If something bad happens, it's just going to happen. Bad news, don't check your calendar before it happens. It just happens. It shows up at your door. And then you got to be able to deal with it. She's not going to choose a black man. No. It's Josh Shapiro. He's the governor of, they got the governor of Pennsylvania, right? And that's why Trump is picking Pennsylvania. Because he got shut up in Pennsylvania. And he still went back. He went back and did another rally where he got shut up. But it was more of a closed one. It was like indoors, right? So he went back to Pennsylvania. He wants a debate to happen in Pennsylvania because Pennsylvania is a swing state. And I think Pennsylvania also has the most electoral college. I don't know. You guys can check because I'm using my phone. Maybe Dawn told you can check for us. She might go Jewish, so the husband Jewish and the running mate gonna be Jewish. So it's Josh Shapiro. It's the senator of Arizona because I think that's also like a swing state maybe. They have the governor of Illinois. Who was the other guy? But it's 4 white men though. Yeah, she's not gonna pick a black man. And she could never pick a black man too because the Democratic Party is a party that does not promote black men. They lock their asses up though. Right? If you look closely at the Democratic Party, it's full of misandry because mostly the black people who get elected, the black people who have positions in the Democratic Party are black women, right? Black men in the Democratic Party make up the prison population. The Minnesota governor, exactly. But how often do you see any prominent position for any black man in the Democratic Party, right? Most black men who are Democrat are the type to come over here and cry on TV for massa. Like you see Van Jones out here crying. Bakari Sellers is crying, right? It's a lot of emasculated black dudes who come over here and cry and they're very weak. They are truly weak or they're prisoners, right? But it's you very rarely see a strong black man who's standing in his masculinity, heterosexuality, and like, yeah, and be strong and hold his head high. You don't see that. So she would never pick a black male as VP. And on top of that too, assuming that you see her as a black woman, that's way too black. Because if she does die, then the VP gets to be president. That's another black person. That's too many black people. She really is a coward, so it's not going to happen. You know, they don't like black men. in the Democratic Party. They don't like him. And that's why I'm so glad. That's why I'm so glad that like so many black men are becoming Republicans. Because they need to go somewhere. They need to go somewhere. Who's Cory Booker? I don't know. You know, black men should go to a party where they can actually be men and they could actually have financial opportunities, which to me is giving Republican Party. Yeah. You okay, baby? And to me, that gives like the Republican Party. It's not giving a Democratic Party. If you're a black man, you're not going to get promoted over there. They're going to pick black women over you every single time. Now, you can do what Van Jones does and go on CNN and cry and keep crying. That's what they love to do, though, right? But no, it's not happening. So she would never pick a black man as her VP. It's not happening.
Hey, it's Jared. Here's how to stay.
That will never, ever happen. What's up, man? That would never, or independent, they don't have that much money. They don't have that much money. Who's Rachel Scott? Who is that? The black girl who was asking those crazy questions?
And we also see when you have somebody like Harris Faulkner from Fox News, who was very Trump friendly, kind of giving him the softballs for him to answer, he still digs himself into a hole. So do you think that there's going to be a Fox hosted debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump?
I won't speculate on that, but
Is she the one who wore the blue outfit? The one that was rude to him? The one who was rude? Who didn't even say hello, or just going in and just popping off at the mouth? Is that her name? Yeah, her. I mean, I don't think she's receiving death threats, though. I don't think so. I don't believe that. One thing I've come to find with social media, when people fuck up majorly on social media and they have to be held accountable or they need to apologize because they don't want to apologize, they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm receiving death threats. I'm like, girl, I need to start seeing those death threats. I really do. Because it's like every time you tell people to apologize or you tell people, they can write anything. They can write whatever. It's the new thing. Now everybody gets death threats. Oh, I'm getting death threats. They're threatening my life. Girl, I need to see those death threats. I really do. And please call the FBI so we can know who sent them to your house. Okay? Because once again, she wants to make the seem like, oh, the MAGA people, yeah, they're always receiving death threats. Like, oh, it's getting old. It is getting so old. Okay? The people who support Trump they're so racist. They're a bunch of white supremacists, and now they're threatening this poor black girl, and they're sending death threats. No, they're not. No, they are not. Because one thing about white people, they ain't gonna threaten you. They're gonna show up and kill your ass. Trust and believe that. They don't stutter. Okay? It's like, if you really believe that them people is insurrectionists and they did what they did January 6th and they were trying to overthrow the Constitution, whatever you call it, trust and believe. They're not gonna say no death threats. They're gonna show up at your house. Goodbye. The man who lost his life, the MAGA people, they raised like $4 million in like 24 hours for that family. They don't have time to send you death threats, sis. It's in your head. Okay? All of that because she don't want to apologize and then say that, you know what, yeah, she kind of messed up because it was excessive. She said, oh, I'm receiving death threats. She felt like an idiot because she expected him to go off. Okay? That whole thing, like them inviting that man, yeah, them inviting that man, it was nothing but a setup. Them making that man wait for 35. First of all, they told him Kamala Harris was going to be there. It was false. She was not coming, right? They were trying to set him up. Then on top of that, when he gets there, they make him wait 35 minutes, right? Because they thought he was going to lose his shit. They thought he was going to go crazy, start screaming, right? But he didn't, right? But he did not. He stayed calm. He stayed cool. Because at Trump left, like, you know what, this is taking too long. I'm leaving. They're like, oh, they would have said, oh, Kamala Harris is here. And Trump just stormed off because he's so scared of her. You know, that's this man, he been outside. Trump been a businessman, and y'all say he's so racist, he's so crooked. Then you should know. Okay, he hip to this. He's not new to this. He been outside. Okay, Trump been outside. He was like, oh, y'all trying to set me up. So he played it very calm. Because I'm telling y'all, had he left like, y'all, it's taking too long for them to set up. I can't wait for them because I got something to do. They're like, oh, he was scared because he knew Kamala Harris was here and he didn't want to face her. He was afraid to debate her, so he went running because they want that headline so bad that Trump is scared of this little girl. He's scared of what? I'm not scared of what? Right? So he stayed. He stayed very calm. Okay, get your stuff. Go take as long as you need. Go fix your mic. Then they're like, oh, no, the mic's not working. He wait again. Then the man finally sits on the stage. Don't even apologize for being late. That's just a matter of courtesy. Like, be a professional. Because honestly, you don't know him personally. He has never done anything to you personally for you to carry this type of energy. Okay? Calm your ass down somewhere. Right? So she goes through her little rant. She starts yelling at this man like he was never the president. Like he's her peer or something like that. Loses her shit. And because she expected him to act irrationally, oh, you see, he yelled at a black woman. He can't control himself. This man is so damn racist. He yelled at this black woman. He was just calm. And he said to her, you're very rude. You are very rude. You don't say hello. You guys don't, you're not on time. And we know they ain't on time. It's black people, so it's color people time, right? Your stuff wasn't working. Your mic ain't working. You told me the girl was going to be here, but she not here. So you invited me under false pretense. He stayed very calm and he exposed these people because the whole thing was a setup. It was a setup to have a headline that Trump came to this thing. He realized that Kamala was there and then he ran because he didn't want to talk to black women. He's afraid of black women. Like, afraid of what? Y'all think this is them goofy ass podcasts? Y'all be having them broke ass black dudes on the internet, right? Trump is really a billionaire. He gonna be scared of what? He gonna be scared of what? Even the girl in the blue outfit who was popping off at the mouth. I'm sure the whole time he looking at her outfit like, girl, the fabric is so cheap. Melania would never. Okay? Melania would never. This man, his wife wears like $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 suits. You went and took your little paycheck and bought you the biggest $300 crepe suit you could find, and you want to sit out here and talk to this man like this when his wife wears the most expensive fabric you could never buy. You sit there with some fake hair that ain't yours, nails ain't yours, okay? Your hair is European, your nails is Vietnamese, your lashes are Chinese, your outfit is European, and you want to sit here and talk to this man like this. That's a girl bag. And I'm sure he was like, ooh, even her perfume is cheap as fuck. I'm like, come on. The stuff Melania wears, bitch, you could never. I'm like, even a section of Melania's closet is your entire annual salary, girl. You need to pipe down and simmer down and know where you fit in and get it where you fit in. Chill the fuck down. You and your cheap ass garments. And even, I know my dress is cheap, okay? Because Melania would probably never wear this also. But then again, I ain't trying her husband, though. Make it make sense. Oh, Ivana, what's her name? Ivana Trump? Child, Ivana Trump wears nothing but luxury. This lady come out with like $4 or $5 million of diamonds every single day. Are you kidding me? And I'm like, you're such a cheap ass little broad. You are a cheap ass little broad. This man could buy your whole life. You dumb idiot. You stupid ass idiot. Make it make sense. I'm like, you probably went and took all the money out your bank account so you can buy you a suit made by the Europeans, okay? When I tell you, Melania, her clothes are made to wear. She goes to Paris, okay? In the atelier in Paris, and they make her clothes to her body. You could never. The most expensive suit you ever have, and you still gonna scratch your head figuring out how you gonna pay off your Nordstrom bill, okay? Girl, bye. His wife travels in private jets, honey. You better chill. I'm like, these people are just ridiculous. They are just, people don't know. It kills me how people don't know how to act around rich people. With your musty ass perfume. Okay, probably went in there wearing Rio. What's it called? The Boom Boom. What's the Boom Boom cream people called? Sol de Janeiro, number 69. Okay, what else you wore? A little Dior perfume? Sure. She probably has the house of Guerlain come to her house and make designer perfumes for her. He's like, child, Melania would never. That's why he probably stayed calm. Like, child, with them cheap rags she got on. With your cheap ass rags, okay? That entire outfit. Melania probably used that to mop her floors. That lady is rich as fuck. She is rich. I'm like, the lady travels. Do you see the Trump plane? I'm like, oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. And you see the one that was like towards the end, the black woman that's like towards the end, like a bit more light skin with the short hair. She's from Fox News. She was like very calm, very poised, very collected because she know what's up. This little one and her exuberance, her cheap ass exuberance. You might want to pipe down and simmer down. I'm like, girl, your whole life, it's a section of Melania's closet. She can buy your whole life. Then these people are not regular. These are extremely, excessively rich white people. No, Val, she's ridiculous. She's ridiculous. Even when Melania went to the White House, when they had to pass over the house, right? Melania gave Tiffany, she brought this big old Tiffany's box to Michelle Obama. You know what I'm saying? And Michelle wanted to be on code like, I don't like us. And Michelle, stop acting like you're a ghetto ass hood rat. Okay? Somebody buys you a gift, say thank you. And on top of that, it's Tiffany. You better say thank you, girl. Child, a vase, okay? A vase from Tiffany, like $10,000. There's nothing cheap at Tiffany's, okay? Even the pens, like little pens from Tiffany, like a pen just to write on paper, it's like $1,000. Now y'all need to stop acting so ratchet like this. Like, what is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? You are crazy. You are really crazy. You know, but I'm like, it was a setup. Yes, you forgot when they came to the White House, she had a big old Tiffany's box. I was like, ooh. It had to be like a vase or something because it was really big. And I'm like, girl, she just gave you like a $20,000 gift. Why you act like you mad? You don't know that girl. You ain't got nothing against that girl. She ain't do nothing to you. You ain't do nothing to her. She buy you a gift. You say, thank you, girl. Shoot, especially Tiffany's. I'm like, shoot, if I used to not like you, I think I love you now. Call me tomorrow. Let's go shopping, sis. Okay? All right. But I'm like, imagine the stuff like his wife wears and the perfume she wears and stuff. You and your musty ass Rio de Janeiro number 69. What's it called? Sol de Janeiro number 69. Cherry Poster, whatever it's called, okay, with your little bum cream. Girl, bye. Girl, go sit down somewhere. I hate that shit. It's so low class to me. No, it's so low class to me. I'm like, girl, you know he's looking at your outfit like, oh, this is so like 3 seasons ago YSL. Because you know Trump be knowing. Because Melania got taste. Melania knows how to dress. She be dressing the fuck down. That girl knows how to dress. She's very beautiful. Very, very pretty. We all want to go to Mar-a-Lago. If I get it, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, T. Oh, child. You know what, T? Let me tell you about black people because we so damn fake, right? If you really got invited to Mar-a-Lago and it was all expense paid trip, your mom would go. Don't listen to black people. Because even if she mad, as soon as y'all pull up that driveway and she sees the magnificence of Mar-a-Lago, she'll be like, daughter, ooh, this is nice. And now what Tiffany Haddish did, this is nice. Don't listen to black people now. They're not serious. We are a very unserious people. Because if you put them face to face with luxury, they're going to take it. Who don't like luxury? Who doesn't like the finer things in life? You hear me, right? Like my friend was trying to ask me things. She's like, oh, but Marlene, would you work for Trump? I said, absolutely. The fuck? Why would I say no? I'm like, you keep asking me questions like you think I'm a lie to you or I'm a stutter. And stuttering for nothing. If Trump came to me today, right, and said to me, oh, Marlene, I want you to work for me and do an outreach program or whatever it is, like, if it's a job where I can make an impact and do something positive and I can get paid like crazy, baby, I am taking it. I said, when these rappers sing about killing black people, when these rappers sing about killing black people for Grammys and for payday advances, y'all tell them to say no? Y'all tell Lil Durk to say no? I think right now, where is he right now? I think he's in Italy right now, right? He's in Italy somewhere, draped out in all Dolce and Gabbana. Okay? How he make all this money? About all the people he done killed in Chicago. So that's okay, right? He's not supposed to be ashamed of how he made his money. But somehow, if Trump gives me a job, I'm supposed to be afraid. Girl, you know you lied to yourself. I sure will take the damn job. If Trump says, Marlene, I'll give you $1.5 million to be my outreach coordinator, baby, I sure will take the job, y'all. We going shopping, y'all. We gonna eat that man's money. I ain't saying no to shit. Yeah. Yes, boo boo. Mommy's not saying no. Why would I say no for? Exactly. Did Ice Spice say no to make all this degenerate music? Okay. Did Meg Thee Stallion say no to money to make all her degenerate music? But I'm supposed to say no if Trump gives me a job? No, I will take it. Yes, I will. If it's a good job and you can do something positive, like, you know, because I don't do nothing crazy now. My conscience, I ain't trying to go to hell. Right? Why would I say no? I ain't saying no. Exactly. Sexy Red out here having all kinds of cash, all kinds of money. And I should say no. Joy Reid is out here on MSNBC lying every day because CNN pays her $1.5 million. I'm not saying no. If Trump offers me a high six figure, I can't do 100,000. That's too low now. That's too low for my blackness. But if Trump offers me a high 6-figure job or a high 7-figure job, I sure will take it. These rappers have no shame, right? They sing about killing people. They sing about all kinds of foul names for the women out here, talking about how they sell the drugs, whatever. And y'all don't mind. They make all this money. They have all these nice cars. They have these fancy houses. But you think I'm going to be afraid to take a job for Trump? Like, what? I will take the damn job. And I'm going to send y'all some money too. Exactly. I'm like, please. She was like, oh my gosh, Mom. I'm like, oh my gosh, what? Oh my gosh, what? Oh my gosh, what? No, I would not work for her. I would not work for her. I don't like her. Nope. I ain't working for her. I told you I support Trump, so I would work for him. I don't support her, so I ain't gonna work for her. I don't support her. Exactly. If Camilla had more of like, if she was more honest, if she was an honest person and she had something I could rock with, right? If I supported her, I would work for her also. I would. But I don't support her, so I cannot work for her. I support Trump, therefore I don't mind working for him. Makes sense? But I couldn't be against Trump and then go work for him. No, that's lacking integrity. Money, I can't sell my soul now. That's excessive. I don't like him. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But I do support him, so therefore I would work for him. Yes, I would. Kamala Harris, I don't support her. I think she's very fraudulent. I think she's very dishonest, and I don't think she can do the job. So why would I want to pay, like, okay, you pay me to work, because let's say this, right? Oh, sorry, hold on. This thing hurts. Yeah, because, you know, Kamala Harris, I don't support her. So even, let's say I take the job. She's like, oh, Marlene, I'm going to pay you $2 million, right? Okay, sure, it's a lot of money. But even if I work with you and you get elected, we're going to have a bad economy. We might go to war, so I won't even be able to spend the money, so it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the money ain't going to go for it, because once you get elected, all hell going to break loose. Then it's like, I can't even enjoy the money, so it makes no sense. I don't want you to be elected. I want Trump to be elected. So why would I go work for her? I don't like her. I don't support her. I think she's completely incompetent. You know what I'm saying? Trump, I like Trump. I think the dude's crazy. Exactly. They said Trump had Amber Rose on stage looking elegant and speaking elegantly. Camilla put Meg Thee Stallion up there to bend over. That is very true. That is very true. Okay? So, I'm like, no. She was so shocked, like, oh! I'm like, oh! Yes, I would work for the man. Anything else? Please. I'm like, please. What is you saying? But I'm like, people are really upset people are seriously upset about this Meg Thee Stallion stuff.
It's the ocean breeze that takes your breath away.
Breaking news overnight.
People are seriously upset about that. Hold on.
I think he is afraid of that comparison. Even if they both agree to a Fox debate, I still think he says, at the end of the day, I'm a no-show.
Why?
Look, Congresswoman, if I'm Kamala Harris, I say exactly what she's done. Meet me at the one you agreed to do. Maybe she does the Fox one. She's not required to do it. We've seen an unscripted Donald Trump. That was NABJ. We see what it's like. I mean, and we also see when you have somebody like Harris Faulkner from Fox News, who was very Trump friendly, kind of giving him the softballs for him to answer, he still digs himself into a hole. So do you think that there's going to be a Fox-hosted debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump?
I won't speculate on that, but I'll say Kamala Harris could debate Donald Trump anywhere at any time, and she will run circles around. He is no match for her intellect and her preparedness or her vision for a more just America.
Okay.
Yeah, so again, it is fascinating
Exactly.
to watch the mainstream level media literally repeat.
Exactly. So that's the thing. So if she will debate him anywhere, anytime, girl, pull up on Fox News. We want to see you September 4th in Pennsylvania, the swing state. Done told you. Do you know how many electoral college votes Pennsylvania has? Because I want to know how many electoral votes they have for Pennsylvania. Because California got 55. Oh man, hold on. Your auntie's coming soon. Does anybody know how many electoral college votes does Pennsylvania have? Oh no, boo boo, I cannot twerk. She said, "Why I need you in my life to keep up." It only has 19. Then why are they making such a big deal out of it? Like it's a swing state. Why are they making such a big deal out of it? They only have 19 or 20. They're fighting this hard for 20 electoral college votes? Wow. That's crazy.
Every single talking point from the Kamala campaign, while at the same time claiming to be not biased, okay? Because I try to take my bias out of these stories as much as I can, right? Even though it's kind of hard. You know, I'm not entirely sure why Trump should have to do a debate on what is clearly a liberal platform with George Stephanopoulos, who is a Democrat Party operative.
Exactly.
I mean, these people are not journalists, guys. They're propagandists. So it doesn't matter which platform you go on, right? At least Fox News.
So now she's saying, I'll be there on September 10th, like he agreed. I hope to see him there. Go, he never agreed to meet you there. That's why, you see, this is why I tell y'all, I can never take these feminists seriously. I cannot take them seriously. They're a bunch of cowards. These women who talk about they don't need men, they can compete with men, they can do whatever a man can do, they're not afraid of men, they want to be paid the same as the man. When it's time to act like a man and be like a man and show up like a man, even in places that are hostile, she ain't gonna show up, right? Because she's a woman. They pick and choose when they want to be a woman and when they want to behave like a man. They get to choose, right? And that's the thing here. That's the thing here in America, right? Women are allowed to decide, okay, I can be a woman today. I want to act like a man tomorrow. Want to be a man today, right? And nobody holds their feet to the fire. Because like, no, if this was a man and he acted like this, like, no, you're a little bitch. You're a little bitch. He pulled you. He called you out. He said, come outside. September 4th, I'm trying to see something. Come to Fox News. We're gonna be in Pennsylvania. We're gonna be in the state with your boy Shapiro, right? I'm coming to your turf, Shapiro. I'm coming to see you. Come outside. Pull outside. But why does it really matter though? If it only has 19 electoral college votes? Because I'm like, man, I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. I don't know. Why does it really matter like that? She's like, oh no, September 10th, like you agree, because you want to go on ABC, right? Because you know you're an idiot. Okay? You know you can't debate. You guys should go back and look at her debate performances from 2020. The way that girl okay, sorry guys. Am I here? Child, my dad froze my okay, sorry, it was my dad. He's trying to talk to the baby. Because now he's 2 months old today. Yeah. Say hi. No, I'm back. It was my dad. But I'm like, for $270 though, I mean, I guess, sure, whatever. Let's go outside. It's not a problem. It's not a problem, right? I know time flies. I can't wait for him to be 3 months, right? But for me, like I said, one thing I appreciate about Trump though, he's not running. All that yap you be doing from inside your house. Girl, come outside. We trying to see something. Come outside. She's like, no, you agreed to September 10th with Stephanopoulos, blah blah. No, he agreed with Joe Biden. He never agreed with Joe behind. And like he said, he in a lawsuit with ABC, so he can't even go there nowhere because they're the ops. He ain't going there. Okay? Come outside, sis. We trying to see something.
Criticisms of Fox News, they at least pretend to be journalists, right? They pretend not to be propagandists.
Y'all need to find the one from yesterday.
They try, right? On MSNBC, ABC, CNN, they don't even pretend anymore, right? They don't do journalism, okay? Like, it just doesn't exist on those platforms. They don't even pretend, okay? So, here's the thing. I'm not entirely sure how you can say Trump is running scared when he already has done debates. He's already done town halls on platforms like CNN. Okay, he's done interviews on ABC, NBC. He's done all these things. Kamala has not.
Yeah,
Kamala hasn't done one interview.
No, she hasn't.
She hasn't done one press conference. She has not done anything at all to explain her policies or policy positions. I mean, she hasn't answered any questions. Look at her website, guys. I want to show you guys what her campaign is all about. This is astonishing. Because if you look at her actual website, guys, this is what pops up when you go on her website. Just donations. Just send me money. Now, I'm not going to tell you why you should send me money. Not even after you close out the send me money page. If you go on her page, guys, there's not one reason whatsoever why you should send her money or vote for her. Nothing at all. It's literally just, hey, send me some money. That's it. That's her whole website. There's nothing here. Take action. Oh, volunteer. What am I volunteering for? What policies are you going to implement if I volunteer to help you get elected? You can't even answer that question, guys. But you're supposed to send her money.
Send her money. We're not sending her no damn money. You guys, oh my gosh, where's the one I saw yesterday, child? This girl was just going in. Oh my gosh, I didn't save her name. I didn't save her name. I was like, I have to play it for you guys because, oh my gosh, she was just going in. It was epic. It was really epic. Oh my gosh.
You're gonna watch. This is unbelievable.
No. Did y'all see that Cardi B is filing for divorce again? I'm like, why are you filing for divorce when you gonna stay?
This morning.
You know you're gonna stay. You're filing for divorce just to stay. Make it make sense. I know, Babo. I know. Oh, righteous was no, it's not him. Oh gosh. I will find that lady. I'll find her later. Is that her?
Ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's not her. No, that's him right there. Oh, her video was so good yesterday.
I love every minute.
I should have saved that one.
He basically said, you all hired her for this.
Man. I didn't think to save her name.
You said Kamala Harris is bad for black people, and you can't say that. I said, is that?
Hold on. Cuckoo.
Hey, it's Matthew. Here's all the ingredients you need.
I will find that live, you guys. Don't tell you why are you messing with Gary like this? Is that like some like hazing phase that you got for him today? What is going on?
Kamala Harris is bad for black people. And you can't say that. I said, is that what this is all about? I said, well, what if I told the truth? You still can't say it. Now, why am I bringing that up today? I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to the IRS. I told them, see, because let me tell you what they came to do. They said, we are here to revoke your nonprofit status.
Oh.
And we want to go back.
And so what?
We want to go through your books and look at every offering the church.
You are so crazy. As if you done cave beat yourself.
That statement up until this current time and tax you for that.
I need to find that video.
This is me, Linda B. Thank you all so much for joining me here today.
This was running with Joe Biden.
You are ridiculous.
To be.
He really is,
the
Gary.
VP.
He really is. Don't mind him.
During that time.
That's what he does.
We said something. And made tape and put it out there. And it has resurfaced.
What is that girl's channel?
It has gained new life. It has gone viral again. And people are calling me, cheering me on. Now, let me tell you where I'm not headed. Because some of y'all, you're getting a weird look on your face. I'm not standing up here to disavow that. Because I said it. And I meant it.
Exactly.
And I still feel the same way. But when I said that, what I said was, I said she was bad for black people. I did. And I'll tell you why. The reasons I gave.
You so damn
she
stupid.
posted that she performed the first same-sex marriage of California. I didn't know it until she told that. I don't think with 70% of our children being born to families where there are no moms, where there are no dads, do we need to see, little boy ain't got a daddy, do we need to see same-sex couples in the community? Do you think that's good? Don't you think that adds to the confusion?
Oh my gosh.
People already make jokes about black boys and black kids on Father's Day. Cruel people. Say that the average black boy have nothing to celebrate. What's sad is, for 70% of them, it's true. So do you want to add to the mix? That, I think not.
Yeah, that's very disheartening. It's very sad to know that more than 70%, it's quite a bit above 70% of black kids today in America.
Hold on. Yo, I need to find that live. I will find that young lady. Because the way she was going in, it was epic. Yes, Mav. You tired? Alright, you guys. I will leave you now. I will find that video. Hopefully tomorrow I can come outside. Thank you so much for all the donations. That is so sweet. I made a whole lot of money today. Yeah, Maverick. We did really good. Y'all crazy. You guys are crazy in these comments. Oh my gosh. I am not responsible for this. Okay? But I will find that video because we gotta watch it. I have to get my other computer so I can play my videos because I can't do StreamYard from my phone because we got lots to watch, you guys. But we're gonna enjoy politics. We're gonna enjoy it because this is too good. This is too good. We're gonna enjoy politics until November 4th, you guys. Okay? Because it's about to be lit. This is really, I don't know. You know, one thing about Trump though, he makes politics a very, very interesting. Because when Trump shows up, everybody starts to care about politics. Politics used to be so boring. He said, F that baby. You're so damn stupid. Why are you like this? Oh my goodness. You heard what your Uncle Don told you said. He said, F the little baby. Is that nice? No, that's not nice. You need to tell him that. You need to tell him that's not nice. That is not nice. All right. But when Trump pulls up, everybody starts to care about politics. And that, to me, honestly, it makes it so much fun. It's too funny. It cracks me up. It really, really cracks me up. No, I told you, Gary, he's insane. Don't tell you he's insane. He always been team too much. He's an F that baby. Oh, politics was so boring. Everybody was bored. Even, like CNN and them, they stopped making so much money. That's why they had to let go of they had to let go of Don Lemon. They had to let go of Chris Cuomo because they couldn't afford to pay them anymore. But I have to go now. But I will be back. Oh, it's too funny. It has been really, really funny. But I will be back tomorrow, hopefully, with this baby, okay? I love y'all. I have missed you guys, so please forgive me. We're moving. It's a hot mess. I will show you the house, but it's a mess. It is a hot mess, okay? And then, Gary, thank you for stopping by. It was nice to get to know you today. All right, everybody, thank you for the donation. Thank you for your time. I love you long time, and I will see you tomorrow, by God's grace.